Alright, so last time we were playing, the tiefling, Callista, had come back from wherever she had taken off to, but was rendered completely unconscious, and had a guardian, another tiefling, named Morday, that was basically kind of trying to watch over her, but got kicked out of the house by these spirits that lived there. So you guys came back to the Black Home from your adventure in the tower to find a stranger on the porch and your previous companion inside and badly injured. But being completely devoid of spells because of your adventures at the tower, you were really unable to administer any kind of like magical healing or whatever. So you carried her to one of the makeshift beds and made her comfortable and attended to her wounds as best as possible, so that hopefully she can recover a bit through the night, and then your resident healer would be able to hopefully do something to give her aid in the morning. So, being exhausted, you each kind of quickly established who was going to stand what watches, because you were certain that the wailing woman might show up seeking her remains that was taken from the tower, and you wanted, but you guys need to rest.
Yeah.
So, what is your watch order? Who's first watch?
I'm probably the least injured right now, and I just need a short rest to get my key points back, so I'll take the first one.
Okay. Well, you're definitely going to want a long rest.
To get all my hit points back.
To get your hit points back and to get your hit dice back for that you've spent on healing, and so that you don't take a point of exhaustion and take penalties on your die rolls.
So
for
should
not
the person
being rested.
who's...
Well, everyone needs a long
Everybody
rest,
needs to rest, but
I need either first or last.
right.
So I can take first watch if someone else wants to take one of the other ones.
I'm just saying that you will need to rest,
Okay.
but taking a watch isn't going to interfere with that.
Okay.
It's just a matter of who's doing what watches. So you are on first watch?
Yes.
Who are you going to wake up for second watch?
Lou.
Going to wake up Lou for second watch?
I'll do second watch then.
Okay, and then third watch?
Probably Wensu.
And then that'll leave you with the last watch. Because I'm assuming you guys aren't going to trust the newcomer to be on watch. I mean, I guess you could add Liam in there if you wanted.
No.
It's his house, but yeah, I don't think.
He lives there. He's probably not afraid to go to sleep.
Oh, worry about that.
He does have two strange tieflings. I mean, I wouldn't say that he doesn't distrust us, but we did kind of steal a dead woman's body. So.
Well, he trusts you guys well enough. You've proven to be at least somewhat reliable. You helped him rescue his sister.
I mean, Liam can do what he wants, but I wouldn't want to burden him with, this
Then he'll just wind up sleeping and then getting up early to try to find something for you guys to eat for breakfast. To have a fresh meal of some sort before you guys go into town. Alright. So, as the evening progresses, you stand your first watch, and you outside, inside?
Probably on that deck pit,
Okay, so
facing the tower where we came.
right, so you're out there watching in the direction of the tower. Rain is kind of trickling down, which it has been for the past few days now, almost non-stop. Just a steady little mist of rain that's been sprinkling down on you. And you're watching the Bramblemarsh itself, the thick kind of briared forest between here and the tower. And you see shadows move, which just like you did the previous time you were here. But you don't see anything threatening that moves towards the little shack. You do occasionally get like the hair, well, you don't have hair, but that feeling, that tingling in the back of the neck of being watched. But you don't see anything that specifically is
Are there
threatening.
still normal night sounds like bugs and bats and
Yeah,
stuff?
it's kind of colder, so you don't really hear much in the way of
But it's
a lot
not
of insects.
eerie silence.
It's not eerie silence.
Okay.
But you go over and you wake up Lou for the second watch, and you kind of get up. You're after having some time to actually kind of get at least a little bit of sleep. You wake up, your arms and legs and just your body in general feels kind of sore and stiff and everything. So you kind of get up and you kind of stretch a little bit, and I assume go out to the little deck area
Yeah.
to stand watch. As you step out onto the deck and you see the drizzly rain and you're out watching across the night, give me a perception check.
Better you than me.
Not bad. Perception 16.
Okay. As you're kind of sitting there and you're watching, and the night progresses, and it gets darker, and things kind of begin to feel almost a little oppressive. You're human, so you can't see all that far into the mist anyway, but it just seems like things kind of close in a little bit. And you kind of get on edge, and your hand just kind of naturally kind of goes to the hilt of your sword
Yeah.
as you're kind of trying to see if there's anything out there. And then you hear a small little whispering kind of around the corner a little bit from where you are on the deck of this shack in the middle of the marsh.
Can I hear what it's saying?
No, just
No.
just whispers.
Does this sound like something that I would be aware of in the swamp, like will-o'-the-wisp type things?
Perhaps. It sounds like somebody is talking.
I mean, that generally is. Can I do a nature check to see if I'm aware? Well, I already know there's wisps in the forest, don't I? Like,
Yeah,
does
you saw them the last time you were.
Does
you were
my
here.
character know that is kind of what they do?
Yeah, I bet.
Okay.
You at least have some understanding of that.
If it doesn't seem like what I would think of the old lady doing, I will just keep guard, but I won't try and follow it.
Okay, so you won't just go around the corner.
No.
All right. So you're sitting there for a little while, and the evening, the night becomes quieter, more still. Then you start to realize that you can't even hear the misty rain that's been slowly drizzling and sprinkling across the water below you. It's just like somebody's stuffed cotton balls in your ears. It's just, everything is just incredibly muffled.
Okay.
And then suddenly, as if somebody like flipped a switch, the sound just comes back, and that oppressive darkness just kind of seems to pull away. And then you see the moon kind of peek out from between some of the broken clouds up above.
Once I'm out of this swamp, it'll be a lot better.
At this point, you see a small figure come walking out from around the corner, clutching a kind of an odd little doll. You see that one. All you see is kind of like a silhouette of a figure, except for that one glowing green eye that just seems to pierce into you. She just kind of stands there quietly for a second.
Is she looking at me?
Hmm.
Shouldn't we be asleep?
I slept already.
Is it? Don't you find it dangerous out here in the swamp at night?
There's no evil out here.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but it gives me the creeps. Whispers and all that.
Makes sense. I've spent most of my life here. So I guess I'm just used to it.
It's a rough thing to get used to, I think, but
I can understand that. It's going to get dangerous here, though. Very soon.
how do you
But
know?
I don't want to leave.
How do you know it's going to get dangerous?
The man told me. And she just kind of points off towards the swampy area where she was just kind of around the corner at.
Is it like the way where I heard whispers from, or is that the other door?
Yeah.
What man?
Oh, he was dead. They dumped his body in the marsh after they slit his throat.
I see. Did he say what was going to be dangerous? Or why?
No, spirits are kind of weird. They don't live in the same existence that we are, so they don't see things the same way we do. So when they try to explain things to me sometimes, I don't really understand.
Well, I'm gonna walk over and just take a look around that side of the building.
You look around there and it's marsh.
Well, it looks like we're safe for now.
Perhaps. I'm gonna go inside.
Sounds like a good idea. I'll be out
She
here
starts to walk past you. She kind of stops for a second. She's like, I'm sorry.
For what?
I just am. And she turns and she walks inside.
You're like, "Ugh."
Alright, well, I guess I'll finish out my watch a little unsettled, but
Remainder of the evening goes completely uneventful. The weather kind of takes a turn for the better as the rains kind of come to an end. Not that it really makes a huge amount of difference in the marsh because you still have to slog through it regardless of whether it's raining or not. You're still wet and muddy by the time you get to where you're going. But at least it's a little bit more bearable.
yeah.
As the sun is coming up, Liam slips out of the shack and into the marsh in his boat to try to, with a fishing net, to try to catch something to make an edible meal for the morning. As the rest of you kind of begin to rise and move about, gathering up your gear, kind of looking over some of the items that you acquired during your recent adventure, and you turn towards the tiefling, who is beginning to stir slightly in the bed. Can you make me a healing check, please?
Yeah. 17.
Okay. Through the night, you kind of, like, before you went to bed, and then when you got up for your watch, and then before you went back to bed, after your watch was done, you kind of checked her over, took care of some of her bandages and stuff like that. So come morning, as everybody else is starting to wake, she's at 5 hit points.
Woo!
Alright.
I live.
So checking over her in the morning, I'm going to heal her the rest of the way with my lay on hands.
Okay.
So so what, your max is 22, so I use 17 of my pool of 20.
So that puts you back to full health. When you first wake up, kind of look around, and you at first you don't recognize where you are. You know, kind of waking up in a slightly strange place, and then as your vision kind of clears and everything, and you look around, you recognize the shack and the place that you had transported you and your new friend. Can't really call him a friend yet, to this location. And your ribs were just bruised and you could barely breathe. Luckily, Lou, the paladin, came over and administered some magical healing, and you feel just 100% better. The soreness is still there, kind of like you're bruised a little bit, but you can move and everything just fine. Your breathing is nice and easy, so you are at full health.
You keep making this sound though, and we're not sure you're okay.
I would hate to be a healer, like everywhere you go, hypochondriacs, like, oh man, Sir, it's gonna heal me.
That's where you just do, make sure you have high charisma so you can have high put deception as one of your skills, and you're just like, oh yeah, I've taken care of this for you.
Who should I see?
You've been healed.
Who should I see? Healer, perhaps?
Go on out, sugar king.
But
Right.
you guys are all awake.
Yeah. So, welcome back,
Stranger.
Callista. How are you feeling?
Sore. but
Who's the blue
not
person?
Dead. That's a good question.
Where were you?
The last thing I can really remember is that we were running from someone or something, and we finally escaped. I made a portal to here because I couldn't remember the right doors to get to the tower. And then I got here, and then he threw something, and then I almost died. That's pretty much
We were
it.
here for that part.
You don't remember what happened after you got abducted from the
No,
tower
I
itself?
just the last thing I remember is waking up in a weird place, needing to get out, and then eventually just finding a way. Thanks to this one, really. He knows more than I do.
Not to be alarming, but we escaped from a prison, and I threw a thunderstone to close the portal we came through, and this one got hit by the debris.
Well, that's fitting for what we know of her.
Why were you in prison?
Wrongly accused.
Can I do an insight to see
Sure.
if that's a lie or not?
Even if he's adding to his collection of misfits.
8. So,
You're really uncertain.
yeah.
He might be telling the truth. He doesn't exactly look like the type. Maybe a thief. But you don't know what he was wrongly accused of, so it's really
Yeah.
kind of hard to make any real assumptions.
Speaking of, what were you accused of?
The murder of the girl that I loved.
That would do it. Where was this prison?
In
Diora.
Diora.
Well, we're a long ways from Diora.
It was really funny trying to watch this one try and make a portal.
Wasn't that your home?
Yeah, so
You didn't recognize that you were in Diora?
no.
Well, I mean,
I've
being in
never
a...
been in a Dioran prison.
Well, you are a shady
Harsh.
character, too.
But I'm better than that. You have to admit, I've only gotten caught by this one before.
I don't know you that well.
you do?
I don't know that you've been caught.
He like crow hops away.
I mean, I'm no saint, but
You and your shinies.
I mean, you just got caught by somebody when you were in the prison.
I mean, I really don't know how this one ended up in there. This one has the most innocent looking face in there.
Is that like a thing? Wizards that can make portals and do like bounty hunting on people?
I mean,
There-
theoretically,
there-
it can be pretty high level.
There are teleportation spells and other things, yeah.
Like,
Look at you
did you do
too.
something that bad that someone just poofed and found you and...
I just assumed that it was a demonic pact come to collect. I'm curious. Was it a demonic pact coming to collect your soul?
Not that I'm aware of.
Were your parents into anything shady?
They're tieflings.
That
Demonic pact. It's too bad. Useless as a sacrifice. You've already sold your soul.
I can only really think of one thing, but that's a story for another time.
Well, I mean, if they're going to be coming after you and in turn us, that might be a story that can't wait.
We have a long trip back to town to bury these remains. I think you could tell us on the way.
Alright.
We're burying a dead woman next to her dead husband, so that hopefully her dead spirit doesn't haunt us.
So did you find it?
Parts.
How'd that go?
He almost died.
It was rough.
Really?
And then there was this globe at the end, and these two got possessed by it, and he was trying to control them.
He exploded a gas room.
Were you guys touching weird things?
Small
He was.
details. Small details.
But we made it out.
You
And
seen these hands? It's very difficult to sort of track with these hands.
I should have picked a different time, John.
Could have been a carpenter.
So I don't think we've been formally introduced. I don't remember. I'm Lou. You are
More day.
Morday. Can you fight?
In a sense.
Angrily hissing.
If needed.
What are your specialties?
Double wielding.
Damn.
What are your specialties? Dual wielding.
he only fights when necessary.
Got ourselves an Edward Fortune over here.
Quinto.
Do you have any of your gear with you, or did you?
He has nothing.
Are you
Nothing.
naked?
Well, you're looking at it.
Close enough.
All non-skilled folk look alike to her anyway.
You're all squishy. That was kind of fluffy.
All right. So what extra weapons do we have?
I've got a unicorn horn. You can't have it.
Then it's not extra.
Well, asked if we had extra weapons,
I don't think
not
I
extra
have
to
any
share.
of the loot. I'm pretty sure Birdman has all of the loot from.
Racist.
Can't carry all of that stuff.
There's no way he's carrying.
No.
Dragging it along.
I got it, guys!
No, but like, you
Liam's
had
in the
some
corner
wep-
with a bag, like, don't worry about it.
You had some weapons and
It's a
stuff.
500 pounds. Like,
Yeah. My whole 5 foot tall frame is just like.
Not the money, like any weapons and stuff.
Well, I
Did you
know
get a sword?
we didn't.
That's his sword.
I know, but what
He got a
about his old sword?
dagger,
I have a murderous scarf.
I have,
so you probably have an extra regular
Matching
dagger now because
slippers.
you've got the magic dagger, right? The Slayer's Talon.
You can give him a scarf and slippers.
Oh, those
We
are
do
my
ha-
scarf and slippers.
Well, we are going back to town. We can help you to set up with.
I mean, we do have a magical
gear.
short sword,
Yeah.
but
I have a disguise kit so you're not naked.
I have a light crossbow that
Thanks.
they could use.
They just paint clothes onto it.
Fashion show.
some kind of show.
Well, I'm Kara.
that was
Hello.
on the. That was the disc stuff, right? The money.
They also have a
That we
fake
picked
signet ring so that you can pretend to be one.
That's
of them.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
He hasn't been using that font for a while.
Trying to remember.
I was gonna say
I
that
wrote
was
it
a
down.
completely different.
Are we bringing out
Yeah,
things
speak
from other
out.
campaigns? Because I have a sword.
No.
The short sword that did the psychic damage to you. We have the dagger, the Slayer's Talon dagger.
Which
So-
is the curved, the claw-shaped one that you have.
I have a standard dagger and a light crossbow.
The only thing I have
I don't think we got stuff to get it out there because
Well, we have.
We were tired, and we also
Some
did
of
not
it.
get that money.
You should have the dagger
see.
in your
You should
stuff.
have the dagger.
here it is. I was looking for this.
So you should have. Yeah, the Slayer's Talon's on the other side of that. So
For
you
the
can
time.
have that.
Although we're just gonna. Is he trustworthy? Are we? Is it okay to give him things?
He's like, that's my shiny. It hurt me, but it's mine.
We'll keep an eye on him.
For the most part. I also have extra daggers as well, so if you'd
It's not
like
like I
to
have
keep
close
yours.
to hiding any of her
I
things.
feel a dagger. I'm just saying that is what I'm making sure that you're.
Yeah, the magical sword.
He seems pretty good so far. Hasn't done
If
anything
not,
wrong
we'll
yet.
just kill him and take
Sharp
it back.
teeth.
Thank you.
So
It's not hard.
if he acts up, we just
I'm sure you guys also got some good loot from the.
So you can write a
The
dagger.
tower, so you
that
can-
and
so
a
much
dagger.
money.
You can figure
Yeah,
something out to
so-
get
So
him.
much money.
You,
Alright, so at this point, Liam comes in with a burlap sack that's kind of wriggling a little bit, and he goes over and he starts preparing a fairly basic fish stew. Is the- for your guys' morning breakfast.
Tasty nom noms.
It's not great, but it is filling. It's very fishy.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
like, well, normally Tessa would make this kind of stuff, but she's not here right now.
Where's Tessa?
I don't know. Probably wandering around. She'll be back in a bit.
Are you sure everything's alright?
And he kind of looks around. Well, I haven't seen any footprints, and it's been relatively warm in here, so I'm assuming that Mom and Dad are watching over her.
Nobody knows anything yet?
I know things. Not pertaining to the small child, but I know
things.
things.
My dad invited into the house, or am I just sitting out the window, just kind of like,
I wouldn't risk it.
Bye guys.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Liam here.
He hasn't invited you in.
okay, so
He hasn't invited us
give you
in either,
some
though,
pants and a
so-
shirt, so.
So, after the stew, do we want to leave immediately for town? Are you well enough to travel?
Oh, yeah, she's fine. I hear.
This seems polite to ask. Humans are whatever she is.
You're not that much of a squishy.
Why are you calling me frail?
He's a human.
She just kind of walks away slowly, like, I forgot who I was talking to. Alright, where's Kara? I'm just gonna go sit next to Kara.
Okay.
Fuck
She's
these
just
guys.
like.
My name's Cara.
Fishy.
Kara. I don't even know her name. She's my only friend. I'm gonna go sit next to the monkey punchy chick.
And she's busily slurping down
Eel
fish
soup.
stew. About 10 minutes later, the girl comes walking in. She kind of skips past, kind of looks at you, just kind of like, and goes over and sits down in front of a rocking chair.
Is it rocking?
Hi Tessa.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. Not dying, so that's good.
That's good.
Where
I
were
did it
you?
once.
I would still talk to you though.
Oh, I'm glad. I talked back as much as I could. Where were you?
Picking flowers.
Oh, that's fun.
It's autumn. Doesn't ask anyway.
don't question it.
Don't question the dead girl.
Were mommy and daddy taking care of you?
Always.
That's good.
At least for a little bit longer. They're gonna have to go soon though.
Why is that?
I don't really know. They just said that it's soon that they'll have to go.
Oh my god. What if her parents are the dude and the chick from the tower?
A long time ago, then.
It's okay. It's totally my headcanon now. It's fine. Jesus.
As she's sitting there, she kind of turns her back to the rocking chair, and the rocking chair slowly starts to rock back and forth. And you see her hair slowly getting braided.
That looks very nice. What were the flowers for?
What do you mean? What flowers?
You were picking flowers.
Oh, yeah, I didn't bring them home.
Oh.
I like to bring death and destruction where I go as well.
Picks them up.
You're not pretty enough.
Oh. Why would you do that?
Bring them home? I don't know. I don't have anything here to put them in.
Very fair.
Have you had any soup?
I'm not hungry right now.
Eat your soup.
Oh, wait.
We should be going soon.
I could rather.
Alright, so you guys finish up your breakfast, gather up your things, load all of your loot back into the boat, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And Liam, makes his way back towards their main house, where they normally live at. It only takes maybe about 30 minutes to get back there, and then you got about another 10-minute walk to get back to basically into town. As soon as he gets back, he's like, "All right, it's been wonderful working with you people." He basically takes the bags out, and just kind of dumps them outside the boat, and then
Thank you for
slowly
your-
starts covering the boat with the tarp.
Assistance.
Did we ever pay him the other 20 gold?
We still need to pay him the rest, right?
Somebody paid him in advance.
All of it?
Yeah.
That's right, we did because of,
Reasons.
yeah, because he,
He didn't like the fact of not knowing if we are gonna come back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we just did it. That's right.
It was better that than giving him a cut of the treasure.
Yeah. So,
He's like, if you guys decide that you need to go back to the tower, you let me know. I know the way, obviously. Got a boat. Sure, we can work out some sort of deal.
thanks again. We appreciate it.
And he goes basically walking over towards the front of his house. You notice that there's a piece of parchment attached to the front of the door, and he just kind of tears down as he goes inside the house.
You take it inside with him?
Yeah.
How is it affixed to the door?
Like a nail.
Nailed in? Okay. For a dagger.
Eviction paper?
That or threats. I mean, they're not liked around the town. It looks like something he's aware of. But we should take care of this, what we're here for.
Thank you.
What?
We should take care of business.
All right, so you gather up the things. Who's carrying what?
Not the
How are
body.
you guys trying to transport this 500 pounds
the
of
disc again?
stuff?
I can do the thing. I can cast Tensor's magic floating disc of weight bearing as we draw near
Is
to
that
the
the
town.
full name of it?
It's a work in progress.
I think someone's already named it.
One's kinds of magic.
Mine looks cooler than that.
Here's
I
some-
can't-
All right,
that
so you
earlier.
put all the stuff onto the disc
Well, I'll let them do that, but yeah.
and begin making your way towards town. As you approach town, you see people kind of going about their daily routine. You know, people going to various shops. You know, the fishermen bringing in their catch to basically sell to people in town and all that kind of stuff. Basically, the usual business.
There goes the breaker with its bed like always.
But there is a difference to the town that you didn't see the last time you were here. They're set up in the town square is a makeshift gallows with
What
two
the
small bodies hanging from worn rope.
How far away are we from it?
Maybe 50 feet.
We warn you now.
I have a strong feeling I know who it is.
So we'll keep going.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so this disc we have floating behind us.
Is filled with
It's just
loot that
piled
everybody
with loot.
can.
Can just
Hey,
see.
no.
through the town
Liam
square.
gave us a thing to throw over it.
Oh, a tarp.
Yeah.
So it's still just a random thing
Floating
floating in the air.
The people
Or
are
it kind
This
of-
is in a low magic world. It's fine.
Do you have like an illusion? You can make it look like a truck bed trailer with the sides on it.
We could put the mule in front.
Well, you'll-
That was a joke. Sorry.
Just pointing to me like I'm the strong one, so.
Yeah.
Would it be better to
Have him
go
stand
around the
under
town
it, like
square to
this
get
is-
to the
Like a flag.
tavern, or
depends on what you guys are wanting to do.
Like Atlas.
You got
I'm gonna go closer to the hanging gallows, but
okay.
kind of not in direct line of sight of everyone.
As you get closer, it is not exactly what you thought it was. You do not see the bodies of a gnome and a halfling. You see two children. two young boys, one about 12 and the other one about 10.
Are there, oh, I'm not over there. I'm gonna turn to Calice and say, maybe we should go this way a little bit. It's a big pile of floating stuff.
Yeah, that
And
seems
let them
reasonable.
check that out and we can,
If we get a room at the inn, we can put things away.
Is there
So-
somebody in this town that can make the money smaller?
No.
I didn't think so.
Mm-mm.
How do they do it all?
So, do we have to cross the square that has the gallows in it?
You can go around it.
Is there still people in the like, has this something that's happened recently, like, oh, they hang at dawn, or is it something that's maybe a day or two old?
Well, you were just here 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. But does this look like it happened yesterday, or is it 15 minutes ago?
You haven't gone anywhere nearby to check.
I'm just waiting for
Can I go
things
with
to go
this
around.
one?
I don't want to open, but
Can I go with this one? I'd walk
but
over.
yeah, I want to go up and take a look.
Okay.
And
You
I'm
go
not
up.
gonna hide. I'm just
You
gonna
go up
walk
and you see both of them have a bit of parchment nailed to their chest. And it says, "This is what you get for stealing from the Count."
Oh, it's the dude.
Oh yeah.
So,
I'm gonna get a bit
Does it
closer
look like the same parchment
so
that
then
was
my
on?
character can see that as well.
Okay. So Liam's door had the same. Since I, well, with my ability to mimic and copy things, I pick up on that pretty quickly, so that I could tell them that that looks the
well,
same.
does the writing look the same?
Well, you didn't really see the writing, and then paper is pretty much
Parchment's
parchment is parchment. Yeah.
Okay.
How long ago did it look like it happened? Or-
Probably yesterday.
There's not really a crowd of people or anyone around.
No,
Or-
but people are quiet. They're going about their business, but they're quiet and very actively kind of avoiding the center of the square.
We've been around here for a little while, though, right? This town.
A little bit, like a few days.
Were we here only for a few days? I thought we were here.
It's been a while since
We started. So I'm trying
Yes,
to remember.
technically about a week.
Okay, so we've been here about. Because I knew that.
you guys were here before.
Yeah, they
we showed
came
up.
into town.
Right. Then you guys went out to
And
the
then-
island for the shipwreck.
Turtle
Right.
ship.
And
But I'm
then
just
you
trying to
guys came
remember how
back.
long he and I were here before everybody else, so if we would recognize the two boys.
You can make an intelligence check, see if you saw them around town at all.
I don't know if you.
Yeah, you don't really recognize them. You haven't really paid that much attention to that many of the locals. Haven't really had much of a reason to.
Alright.
So what you guys doing now?
Well, I think we still need to take care of the bones, and then I think a visit with the Count is in order.
I'm gonna go to the inn.
Okay, so you make your way towards the inn. Well, let's go around the table. What are you going to do?
That's what we were taking this other way to the inn.
You're going to go to. You're making your way towards the inn. Winsu?
Wince is going and getting a room so he can drop anything off that he doesn't need, and we're going to continue on with the bones, I'm assuming.
Okay, so inn. You were going to the inn.
Yes, but before I want to use my disguise kit.
You want to try to just slip off into an alley or something and disguise yourself, or just right here
Yes.
in the street?
No, in the alley, please.
Okay.
Find a mailbox.
All right. So you tend to you plan to slip off into an alley and disguise yourself. Okay. Mordai. Sorry, I keep wanting to say
Momo?
Mordai. What you got, Maury?
I guess
Oh,
I'll
let's
go to the
show him where
inn.
the inn is.
I'll go to the inn.
You're gonna go to the inn. Okay.
I will be like a
Lou.
lost puppy and just follow you guys.
Well, I mean, how many people do we really need for the burial? Not many. I'm just gonna head straight there with the body.
Okay. So you
With the
just kind
bones,
of
yeah.
start making your way towards the
Just
graveyard.
walking around downtown
Okay.
with a body.
It's not a body. It's a bag of bones. I have it in my
The
backpack.
body of the bag.
Calliste?
I am going to the inn with Kara. I want to look into this, but I don't want us looking like thieves if that's frowned upon here.
Okay.
But where I'm from, death is kind of common for thieves.
All right. So, everyone, give me perception checks.
Hey, 20.
12.
That's not even my perception.
12, 20.
Well, 25.
Okay, 12, 25. Callista? 20,
9.
9. Well, what's your
Nine.
perception?
19.
19.
Total of
You
20.
have no perception?
All right, so everybody except Morty over there notices something a little bit different about the town as you kind of start to actually make your way towards the
I'm
end.
just-
You're getting ready to slip off and down this alleyway, and you see that there are guards posted. You didn't see any kind of like real town guard the last time you were here, but they're dressed in basic studded leather armor, but with a purple sash across their body, marking them as guards for the count.
I'm disguising myself away from their view, correct?
I'm just letting you know that
You
Can
This
we
is
make
what-
that a thing?
Yeah, just let.
Just goes right in front of them. Hold
What if
on.
they stop
And
us
then-
with that treasure?
And then, of course, everybody that got at least a 15 sees her slip into an alleyway.
What do you guys do?
She sits there.
rolls her eyes.
You're just like,
I'm just
Ah.
like, that's a nice guy.
the sun's shining. Haven't seen that before.
What is that bright thing in the sky there?
Incoming fireball.
Ah, that's so bright. All right, so what are you two doing? As you see
These
her
guards?
slip into the alleyway, and you see some guards looking around, and they actually seem to be kind of looking at you guys.
Hmm.
How far away from the inn are we?
Maybe block and a half. It's not a very big town.
Who's got good charisma?
Lou, we'll just wander away.
I have fists. That's what I have.
Say hello.
And I
Do
don't-
my fists.
And I don't think that'd be a good
Funnily
idea.
enough, Callista does too.
Yeah.
She's got better than I do. Being
Well.
a sorcerer.
I'll look to them and kind of like slow them down a little bit and so do you guys notice all those guards? They're gonna check and want to know what we're carrying around on your floating disc. Do we have
We
some
found
kind
it.
of spell to disguise it or some kind of
Not yet. The best we could say is we've explored some ruins in the swamp. Where we've had it. Just came into town. It's not lying.
it's still gonna get it's not lying, but it's still gonna get the attention of the count. Someone walks into town with that much money, he's gonna.
It's not really. It is a money bomb, right? But it's
We're collecting our inheritance.
a lot of copper.
Well, we need to pick a story and go with it. We're gonna convince these guards.
Is there anything wrong with telling the truth? Like, are adventurers that uncommon?
No, but
You're not here.
I know he's not here, but it's a good point.
The
But
tower
if
is
the count-
the tower is owned by the kingdom right now,
Yeah,
though.
so
it
if
would
we
be
came back
stealing.
with treasure from there
Yeah.
without like permission, he's gonna either take a cut of it or demand all of it because he's an asshole. So,
Well, do you continue making your way towards the end?
oh yeah, just slowly. I'm just trying to
I'm
figure
just
out.
gonna
Alright.
behind
Like
them,
stopping
like-
and like, that would look really suspicious. I just
Wait,
like,
hang on. What are we gonna tell them?
I just like slow this down a little bit, just kind of like whispering and.
Don't you have the magic wand that makes people go crazy?
I have a magic wand of getting high, but I don't think this would be a good situation to use that in.
If things go bad.
So you slip into the alleyway. I need you to make a d20 roll. Add your charisma modifier and your proficiency modifier. Because I'm assuming you are proficient in disguise kit, yes?
Bold
Then maybe
assumption.
not. Alright.
I do
Well, she's a
write it
charlatan,
down.
so yeah, she would.
But,
Her
yeah.
background gives it to her.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
What would
But are
that
we
be?
sure?
Yeah, I can double check, but
Because it might be an either or kind of thing.
What level are you? Nurture?
It's like maybe pick pockets or lock picks or
Oh
disguise
yeah, I have
kit
it in
or
my
something.
proficiencies. Disguise kit and forgery kit.
Okay, there you go then.
Yep.
What is it plus?
so
Your
that just
proficiency
ma-
modifier.
yeah, so it gives that
Oh, okay.
plus that. So you have a plus 6 to your d20.
Mhm.
23.
All right. So you're just trying to make yourself look not tiefling, basically.
Just not like myself, and probably not tiefling.
It's really good that we don't look similar.
True.
They're gonna be like, oh, they're tiefling.
Most of it, sorry. All right, so you're good.
Can I also, when I walk by the guards, cast thaumaturgy? How do you pronounce that?
Thaumaturgy.
Okay.
No one actually
To
knows.
change the appearance of my eyes as well. Magic.
As you're walking past the guards, or before you walk past the
You
guards?
might want to clarify that
before I
you're
walk.
using it to look either normal or scary, whichever you're going for.
To look normal as walking past the guards. But
Just-
like before I get to the guards, so that then it works while I'm going
I
past.
don't know that thaumaturgy lets you.
I'd say that you can do it so that a shadow passes over your eyes or something that kind of obscures them, but you can't make your eyes look normal.
I think it just
That's-
changes the color of them.
Yeah, you could change their color
Okay.
to some other glowy color
Yeah.
that.
Is equally unnerving.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll just.
But thaumaturgy is specifically designed to make things supernatural,
yeah, you
not
too.
the other way around.
Not super normal.
Try.
Yeah.
Super normal.
I can just
Okay,
imagine
yeah.
you going by the guards though and just being like,
Changes
walks by.
As you're walking towards the inn, you see a stranger come stepping out of the alleyway that your tiefling companion had previously stepped into.
I didn't notice though.
But you see this person that comes out kind of hunched, got like an old like shawl kind of thrown over them. Their head is kind of covered and walking with a slight limp. Kind of looks like an elderly woman.
Just roll my eyes and assume that she got kidnapped again.
So I wouldn't have seen. I only got a 12 on my perception. I didn't see her go into the alley,
No,
but I'm pretty smart, so I can put 2 and 2 together, or maybe not.
maybe not. Give
How would I
me
figure it
an
out?
insight check.
13.
Yeah, you have no idea.
So she's like walking with our group, or she comes out of it.
Oh,
Did you
you're
come out of
walking
the-
with the
No,
group?
I'm not walking with the group.
Okay.
Just walking up.
Hey,
Little
guys.
lady falls
So
behind.
I'll just take note of her and just keep walking.
Okay. As you're walking along, you those that also got a 10 or higher, obviously, again, not you. You notice that there are
Just
some
like-
postings on some of the walls. You are walking past an area and you see that there's this poster up outlining some new laws that have been implemented in town.
What does it say?
As you start looking it over, it says that all arcane magics are hereby outlawed and considered witchcraft.
We have a
And
I'm leaving.
any magics from any deity other than Calmore are banned from town. And also would be condemned as witchcraft in the name of the church.
You about to start a holy
Okay,
war.
Okay.
Oh shit! I'm carrying a magical floating disc.
I just said that.
Because of recent events,
Just
all punishments have been increased.
Okay.
To quell any uprisings that may occur due to the foul influence of demonic presences.
All right. Well, I still want to take care of this as quickly as possible, but after that, I definitely want to get back with the rest of them, and we'll need to figure out how to get out of this town.
Okay. So the rest of you guys make your way towards the inn, and as you're kind of walking by, you see several of the guards are just kind of eyes fixed on you as they walk by. A couple of them are talking, and while the third one's like kind of bumps them and nudges in your guys' direction. They all just kind of watch as you make your way into the inn.
I'm gonna turn around before I go and kind of just crack my knuckles. I'm not scared of them.
I ain't scared.
I'm scared.
All right, so you guys go into the inn, and the innkeeper that you had seen before greets you. He's like, "Oh, you've made it back. If I were you, we could turn around and leave, though. Probably as soon as possible."
Yeah, we saw some changes since we've been gone.
Yes,
What happened?
there's terrible things going on. First off, as you are well aware, the Count is a deplorable human being in every sense of the word. But it has recently reached us the news that there was an assassination attempt on the Queen. And apparently by some death cult. I don't remember any of the specifics. Just by the time it gets to us, it's mostly hearsay and rumor anyway. But the church has kind of come down on arcane magics until the Inquisitors managed to make their way around through the various towns and stuff and purge them of any potential cultists. Of course, the Count is going to take advantage of this whole situation.
What happened to the boys in the square?
Theft. Apparently, he claimed that they picked his pocket. And as he proclaimed that all punishments would be increased based on the current situation to rein in any deplorable attempts to rebel. Apparently, hanging was the punishment for presumably taking some coins, which was never actually proven, as far as we know.
Where does the Count stay?
In his keep. He's probably on his way back there now, several days away from here.
Did he leave someone in charge while he's gone? Or just the guards?
Just the guards, and well, there's a captain.
How many guards?
30.
I got 15.
She's like, I got 10 fingers.
Who's the captain? Is he a local man?
Oh no, he's one of the militiamen from the capital. O'Grady, I think. I only met him once, and very briefly.
Well, there's no reason for us to stay here after we're done with our business.
Of course, he kind of looks back behind you at the floating disc, but that's going to get you guys in some trouble if you don't get out here soon.
Well,
it's more private.
yes, but I was
No,
just thinking,
I'm
how
not
much
here.
does a cart and a horse cost, typically?
4 or 5 gold
Okay.
Do you think
for a
there's
cart
any
and a horse.
available in town?
You
Maybe.
have one that we can buy right now from you.
Oh no, I don't own a cart or a horse.
Okay.
I haven't really had much need for such a thing in many years. Not since my soldiering days. But
I'm just thinking.
Either
if we
way,
get on that now.
you're probably not going to want to take the road out anyway at this point. Apparently there are some bandit troubles up on the road not too far from here.
For now, let's get a room, put this away, we can divvy it up while we look for a cart.
And see his daughter walk by. He's like, yeah, I don't doubt that it's the Count's been taking some extra tolls on those passing through the area. And he's like, no, we don't need to be talking out loud about anything like that, or we'll be hanging out there like those poor boys. She's like, ugh. And she goes on about her
Which
business.
direction is the Count's keep?
North.
South.
About
Got
4
it.
days.
North 4 days.
Which makes sense because south is actually the ocean.
Yeah.
Oops.
At this point, you see the door open up, and you see two of the guards kind of walking in. They don't say anything. They just kind of go over and stand next to the door,
Is our disc just
floating there.
Yep. I'm gonna take that upstairs.
okay?
Yeah.
I'd rather have a fight instead of in.
Well, if we take it upstairs, maybe we'll break less
I'm gonna
furniture.
turn to the barkeep and say, or the innkeeper, say, have a glass of ale, please. A mug of ale.
I gotta smash this shit with
He's
somebody's
like,
head.
absolutely. Kind of draws you a mug of ale and slides it down to you.
Like, rest my back on the bar on the stool and just drink. Just look at the cards, like,
Sipping my beer.
just let them know that they can't bully us.
All right. Meanwhile, at this point, this old woman comes hobbling her way into the thing and looks at a guard on either side of her, walks over and stops next to you at the bar.
She orders a pint.
Hello.
She's quite perky for a woman of her age.
I mean, like,
I'm gonna ask for a room, and she's already upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for a room key.
Well, wow. Getting quite a number of visitors. Sure. That'll be a silver piece for the night.
Okay.
He goes over and takes down a key. With
You don't
it's
have
got like a
any money,
little
you just got
tab
out of
on it that
prison.
says
I don't have
5 on
money.
it.
Looking for a pencil. Because she doesn't get her own damn pencil.
no, but
There's
didn't
got
she
one
just
right
get
in
out of
front
prison?
How many games will we
No,
be
but she
playing?
got snatched away to prison for like a couple hours. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
was still fully
And then
clothed
it's
with
like,
all her
hey,
gear.
Oh, okay, so it's the fully clothed part that really
She
matters.
get to prison and you're like, all right, let's do this. Clothes.
No, I kept my coins.
Orange is the new black. Here we
Okay,
go.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna,
he hands you a key. It's got like a little tag on it that has a number 5 on it.
okay,
You know that there's only 6 rooms upstairs.
I'm gonna take it and kind of hobble up and like keep my thing going while the guards can still see me.
They don't really seem to be paying any real attention to you.
That's the point. And then once I get up there, I'm gonna turn to you. And I'm gonna just start speaking normally. And it's Callista.
No, it's
Callista.
Callista.
You're Callista. I love Callista.
Yes, I really am.
Like, how do you know my name? Get in the room. I'm just gonna walk into my room.
Okay.
I'm
What are
gonna-
you doing, Winston? She's leaning against the bar, drinking some ale. What are you doing?
I'll walk over by her and ask for some bread.
Surprise.
No, what's some bread? I'm a bird.
Barkeep comes out with a loaf of bread and starts throwing
He
it.
just, do you want me to crumble it for you? Or?
Do I look like a child?
crumbles bread and starts pecking it.
And some, I need a drink. So
Alright.
I was an ale with it. So I'm just
Alright.
gonna eat real. We haven't. It's been 2 days. We've been living on rations and crap. So.
Yeah. Fish stew.
Yeah.
How about you? You see the Dragonborn goes upstairs with her floating disc.
I'm actually gonna follow her.
Alright. So you got the tiefling following along behind you. The
So
little skinny-
I get the random prisoner and an old person following me upstairs with my treasure. My party's like, fuck it, we're drinking. So,
No, I'm sitting here with her giving the stink eye to the guards, like the
I'm
bird stink eyes.
protecting y'all.
not from the old people and the alien.
Hey, you don't look like they're
You're
big
blue.
threats to me though.
All right,
What color are you?
black.
Gray, aren't you?
Yeah, she's gray.
I have
am
gray freckles.
Dark gray. Thank you.
I got
gray
Smokey the
freckles.
Smurf bandit on my tail here.
Alright. Lou, as you make your way out of town, approximately 100 or so yards out of town, there's like a winding rock path, and there's like a couple of little bridges, and then you come to the old cemetery that's on the western side of the town. In the center of which you see that there's a large stone granite mausoleum. The one you assume, since it's the only one there, is probably the family crypt.
All right. I want to go up and try and open it.
As you approach the door, you see that the door, the two heavy bronze doors, are slightly ajar.
Okay. I'm gonna pull lights worn out
Okay.
and make my way in carefully.
All right. So you push the door open further, and it kind of scrapes along, and you notice as it kind of scrapes along, you notice that the previous scrapes are almost as fresh as the ones that you have just made.
Okay.
You
Do I
make-
hear anything?
It's very quiet, other than the sounds of running water. That's kind of because it's like an island in the middle of like the marsh and everything. So there's like running streams and everything that kind of runs
But
around.
the mausoleum isn't very big, right?
No, it's not absolutely huge. It's fairly large, but it's not. It's not
It's
like
like
a
a whole
massive
dungeon.
castle or anything like that. As you step inside, you see that there is 2 rows of basically like these center. There's basically the square outside wall of the mausoleum, and then there's 2 rows of these like shelves, basically that contain various bodies and stuff, and a couple of them have like coffins that are kind of stuffed in there and everything. Most of them are covered in dust and cobwebs and generally undisturbed for however, probably since they were put in here. At the very far end of it, there's a slight curved alcove at the back of it where there are 2 stone sarcophagi. One of them has no lid.
Okay. Do I see footprints on the ground?
There are several, actually.
Which does it? I guess. Can I tell which way, like, going in and out, or like that?
Survival check.
Yeah. 16.
Yeah, they look like they recently went in and then came back out. There's a number of them. Looks like there's probably about 4 or 5 good-sized men's boot prints. What you would guess is probably like guards or something, because they're kind of heavy set. They're kind of easily marked in the dust, giving you the idea that they're heavy people or they're wearing armor or something that basically gives them a little bit more heft. And then there's like a dainty set of completely bare footprints,
Small,
small.
as in Tessa's size, perhaps.
No, adult, female,
Adult.
but dainty, maybe like a size 7 or 8.
So-
And then, but barefoot.
Okay.
And then there's like another one that's, the footprint is almost as wide as it is long, but has a very unique tread to it.
Like, not human.
No human, just the tread of the boot has a pattern to it. The rest of them were just kind of slick leather. This one has like a strange like little diamond pattern to it.
So I'm gonna make my way to the alcove at the far end. So you said one of them was open.
Yeah, one is open and it's looks like it hasn't been used. It's probably, and it has the Ethel's name emblazoned on it, but it doesn't have any dates or anything on it.
Okay.
And then the one next to it is Martin's.
Does it look like?
But
it's
Martin's is, the top of it is cracked and part of it is basically pushed open. And you see that the coffin has recently been opened.
Is his body still in there?
It is,
Okay.
Okay, good.
but one of the hands is missing.
That's good.
Does that ring any bells? Like taking a hand, or is it just gone for whatever? Like, would we? I guess what I'm trying to get at is, would someone have taken the hand for a specific purpose? Is there something purpose that I can think of, religion-wise, or
Yeah, go ahead and
Otherwise-
do a religion check to see if you can pick anything on that.
total of 20?
You can't think of anything that would specifically use like a hand for. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, good. 9. I'm not very good at that. Yeah. All right. Well, best I can do then is I'm just gonna pull out the bag of her bones
Okay.
and lay them
In the empty.
In an open sarcophagus.
Okay. There is a stone lid that, if you kind of look around, it's kind of set off to the side as though it was prepared for her, but she was just never laying to rest in it.
Well, I'm going to say a prayer over her, and pretty much do the whole laying to rest thing, and then I'll put the lid over her
Okay.
sarcophagus. A total of 20.
Yeah, you do like a solemn set of prayers and everything, and you shift the lid over onto the top of the sarcophagus and everything, and turn to walk out, and you kick something, and it kind of skitters across the floor.
Did I?
It sounds kind of like branches, like a stick, a dry stick, it basically sliding across like a sidewalk or whatever.
Can I see where it went?
Yeah, it's not very bright in here, but you.
Well, I do have my sword.
Yeah, you have
out.
your sword and everything, so you see like the little shadow of something that goes
It's his
off
hand,
to the side.
isn't it?
Yeah, you go over there and you find the hand, and it's. It looks like it's in kind of like a claw kind of shape like this, but some of the fingers are broken away.
Does it look like there was something in it,
Yeah,
but they're not anymore?
yeah.
All right, I'm going to return the hand to his coffin. Just
Okay.
put it in there.
Just put it back in there and
Yeah.
kind of push the stone back together a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of. But okay.
All right, as you push the stone back up in there, and you kind of do like the last minute,
Mhm.
blessing before you turn to leave. There's like this slight, friendly blue glow that seems to emanate from the alcove, and you see this elderly woman appear, and then next to her you see this kind of purplish, glowing older gentleman kind of appear next to her. And she kind of glides forward in this kind of ethereal, specter-like form. She's like, "Thank you. Martin and I have been separated for so long. Take my blessing." And she reaches out and she touches you on the forehead.
And I will, it was just doing what I thought was right. And thank you.
And then she just kind of fades.
All right.
It was a good touch.
I'll turn to leave and make haste back to the inn where my friends are.
Mark it on your character sheet somewhere. For the next 30 days, you have resistance to necrotic damage.
All right.
I want to swap out one of my 0 level spells for something else. Because 0 level spells are spells known, can I just drop it and take something else as long as I use one of my 2 that I get for level?
I say you can do it, but it takes like a couple of weeks to basically master the replaced spell, basically.
Okay. So how would that play
So
out?
it basically takes 2 weeks of time.
So would I still be using Acid Splash for that?
No,
time?
you just lose a spell, and then 2 weeks later you get a new spell in its place. As you're basically
So-
forgetting one to learn.
No, that makes sense. My thing is I've got 3 right now. Because I went up to 4th level, now I can have 4 0 level spells.
Okay.
So I was going to take Firebolt for my 4th one, and then I want to work on dropping Acid Splash to learn Mage Hand instead. So basically for 2
Same.
weeks I couldn't
You do.
cast. Okay.
You
that's
just
fine.
couldn't cast Acid Splash for
Okay.
the next 2 weeks.
And that would count as one of the 2 spells that I had learned for my leveling, because you get 2 freebies just for level.
No, it's just a replacement.
It's just okay. Continue.
Anyway. So, with that, you make your way towards the inn, and you see that there are a number of guards starting to kind of gather outside the inn.
All right.
But you also see the guards' heads kind of turn as there's a little bit of a commotion coming up from the docks area. And you kind of turn and you see a group of really large figures stepping out of a rowboat. You see a ship kind of docked out in the harbor a little bit. It's kind of an unusual ship. The bow of the ship, instead of being kind of swept under like you would normally see on a ship that basically kind of curves under, this one kind of sweeps out and comes out to a big iron spike, or at least you assume that it's iron spike, out kind of at water level out in front of it. Kind of like an old Roman ship. What's it, a galleon? Anyway, like the old style Roman ships, and it even has the eyes painted on either side of it. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the ship looks very much like a modern galley type warship or merchant ship.
Okay.
But you see that this rowboat has come forward, and there are these 4 very large, burly figures have gotten out of the boat, and they're making their way up the hill. The one in the front is tall, almost, you'd say, somewhere between 7.5 to 8 feet in height, with these broad, muscular shoulders, and this set of horns that kind of come curling around in front of his forehead, and his bovine face. And it's got this big ring through his nose, and he's got this captain's hat. And he's just got a big cutlass tucked into a sash at his side, and he's got this like a captain's coat, but he's not wearing a shirt or anything. He's just like this, and the sleeves are all ripped and torn.
Yeah.
It was apparently not made for his frame,
Yeah.
but he chooses to wear this because he likes this particular coat for some reason. But he comes trudging along, and next to him is an equally large female version of whatever this creature is. And she's walking along, and she just kind of snorts as one of the guards kind of approach her. And you see the steam kind of come out of her nostrils, and she just kind of glares at him. He's just like, steps back, and she kind of goes, "What?" And he's just like, and runs off, drops his spear and runs off out of the way. And then there's 2 others just behind him. One is another one of these Tauros, which you come to realize that's probably what they are. And then there's a much smaller, but in comparison, but equally intimidating looking woman that's kind of walking along behind him. A human woman, but with very, very dark ebony black skin. The sides of her head is shaved, but what would basically be the mohawk at the top of her head is braided into a very thick braid that runs right down the middle of her scalp, and then it hangs down her back with several gold beads down it. And she's got lots of she doesn't have tattoos, but she's got like these scarred patterns on like her shoulders that look like little dots all over both of her shoulders and everything. And she's just very muscular for a human. She's very strong looking, and she kind of comes walking along. And she too has her nose pierced as she's walking forward. She's also got her eyebrows, or one whole set of eyebrows has got like like 5 piercings all across her one eyebrow, and her ears are all filled with piercings and everything. She just kind of comes walking along behind them.
Which way are they heading towards the inn?
Yeah, they're walking up the path from the docks towards the inn.
Okay.
The inn is like one of the first buildings you come to as you're coming from the docks.
What are the rest of the guards doing that are amassing?
As soon as they see that there's these 4 figures are coming, they kind of start looking at one another, and some of them just kind of nonchalantly begin to wander off as though they're going back on patrol. A couple others look around nervously, and then walk away, while one remains behind, peeks his head in the door. You guys see this guard poke his head in the door. Is like, I'm going to go get the watch captain. And out the door. The door just kind of...
Well, what did the 2 that are in there do when he says that?
They just kind of look at one another like confused. But they turn their attention back to you guys at the bar.
Alright,
Next thing you see is Lou come stepping through the doors to the inn, sword at his side, kind of walking along. He's got like a strange, glowing blue mark on his forehead.
That's gonna go over well.
Yeah.
And kind of looks around, and then I assume walks over towards you guys.
Hey Lou, how are things?
It's taken care of. She will not be harassing the swamps any longer.
How do you know that?
She and her husband appeared once they were laid to rest. You know, it sometimes happens with these magical disturbances.
You've got a little something on your forehead.
Is there something I can look at, or I guess
There's actually a mirror behind the bar.
So I take a look and
Yeah, you see a slight. It looks like a kind of like a crescent in the middle of your forehead.
I'm assuming you've seen the notices posted around the town.
Yes.
This is not going to go over well.
Do you have a hood or?
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm
A
sure the
hat
guards
of
in
some
here have
sort?
seen it already, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you didn't even know it was there, and you
Yeah.
walked through town and everything. So.
but there appears to be some
It's
delegation
like
of
that
some
person
sort.
that's got like the parsley or something in their teeth, and they just don't know it.
And I just continue to smile.
Yeah. Seems like there's some sort of delegation or something that's just arrived by ship. 2 large toros followed by seem to be escorting a woman of some kind. They seem a large ship.
How big was their ship?
Like a galley. So large. But
Would I
Any
know of
flags
any?
flying on the ship that you saw?
did I see any sort of flags or
I don't know. How close pay attention did you actually pay to the ship?
I would assume with my noble upbringing, that's looking for
Alright.
heraldry and stuff like that is something I kind of just naturally
Yes,
look
there was
for.
there was a flag flying on the at the basically up at the very top mast or center mast. There was it's kind of a yellow gold colored field with a red sun emblazoned in the center of it with a golden bull's head in the center of that.
Am I familiar with whichever kingdom or
Soratir.
Soratir?
Yeah.
Would I know of any ships from that area or?
Soratir is actually relatively noteworthy. It is the kingdom of the Tauros. It is entire kingdom of these people descended of Minotaurs. They are very keen tactical capabilities, but not necessarily noteworthy for their seaworthy capabilities. They don't have an exceedingly powerful navy. Obviously, for trade and that kind of thing, they would have ships and stuff because you don't trade with a whole lot of different places without being
And it's
able to
probably
get
not
to them.
super uncommon that they're here because it's just the next continent south. Like,
You say they're descendants. Does that mean that they mixed with humans or?
They are just slightly more evolved.
Okay.
They still have certain tendencies that they try to suppress. Minotaurs are very savage, brutal, flesh-eating monsters. But these people try to live a life of very strict order and discipline. They are led mostly by their military, which actually works really well for them because the military requires a certain amount of order and discipline. So it's kind of ingrained into their nature to try to always remain calm. But it is also known for when they do lose their temper, somebody loses an arm or their life or any number of other things because they are quite capable warriors. And they can take offense at just about anything.
So it's like playing chess with a Wookiee.
With a Wookiee, yeah.
That's what I came to mind.
Anything that could potentially offend their honor, yeah, it's likely to start a brawl.
Would
Not that they're bad people. They're
no,
just
but being well traveled, would I know that about them? What
give
would
me
that be?
Intelligence check.
No.
Yeah, you're not that familiar with them.
Oh,
You know the basics. You know not to piss them off.
Okay, that's good because I'm kind of bitesy. And they could probably just go like this and smash me.
Meanwhile, the other three are up in a room. You've been followed by a tiefling and an old woman into your room. What are you doing?
So, the three of us, I'm guessing, can't leave the room. Mostly you two. Theoretically, there's a demon cult in town. Or the kingdom is squashing a demon cult. I wasn't actually listening. My character, not me. We need to get this divvied up and carried in an inconspicuous manner. And we need a cart, and we need a horse, and we need to leave town. Preferably to kill the count.
Sounds about right.
Someone should go tell Kara. Sit on the bed.
Alright.
But you just said they couldn't leave the room.
I'm in disguise, so I could leave the room.
Shouldn't leave the room.
Better than me.
But I'm in disguise, so I could.
Yeah, she's an old woman.
She's in a woman.
Okay.
Some kind of woman.
I am slightly worried. I'm gonna look for something really quick. And
What are
then
you
I
gonna
will
look
go
for?
find the cart and the horse for you.
What are you looking for?
Benny and Mia, because I have a feeling that they started this.
I have a feeling they skipped town as soon as it started happening. But, it's your feelings. Go for it.
Okay. Do I remember which room they were in?
Mm-hmm. 6.
Okay. I'm gonna go knock on the door. First.
Alright. So you go over and you knock on the door. No answer.
What's your lockpicks?
I don't have that.
What kind of charlatan are you?
Charlatan
And it
still-
does disguises and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, they're more about deceiving
I
than.
just go like this.
Throw gang signs at people.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
But there is no answer at the door.
What if I try whispering?
You can try whispering.
And then knock once more, and do we have like a certain code or anything?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I was gonna say, I'm slightly disappointed.
But
that they
I
don't
would
have
just
a
assume
secret
that you use the secret knock
Yeah.
to let them know that it's you and there's no
Shave and a
response.
No
haircut.
response.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna find you.
No.
No tune can resist it.
Okay.
But there's no response.
I'm gonna walk away then, and I'm gonna go look for the cart and the horse.
Alright. You walk downstairs and you see Lou is back. He's standing over at the bar with Winsu and Kara. And there's 2 guards standing at the front door.
They're just standing there still.
They're just standing there like they're watching the door.
Oh.
And at this point, the door slams open, and the door is basically slammed into the guards. And you see this Tauros kind of duck through the doorway. The doorway is like at 7.5 feet tall. He kind of ducks underneath and stands up, and his horns kind of scrape along the roof a little bit. He's like, "Sorry about that, sir." And he steps forward. "I would like 4 rooms, please." And the innkeeper just kind of looks up at him. He's like, "Yeah, 4 silver pieces. If I'm assuming for 1 night, 5 nights. My men would like to get some drinking in before we begin the long and arduous journey south. My first mate and these 2 will be the first to be granted shore leave. They have done a lot of good service over the past couple of weeks, and I want to make sure that they are well rewarded. So I am purchasing rooms for everybody here." And the innkeeper's like, "We have plenty of ale, and yeah, we've got rooms." And he kind of stops and looks back at you guys and like, "Oh, well, I just kind of assumed that you guys would be leaving town, all things considered."
No worries. I'm not offended. We'll figure it out. I don't want to.
"You're lucky. We only have 1 old lady that's staying here for tonight, though." And he's like, "Very well." And he throws some a fistful of coins onto the table. And he kind of walks over and he looks at you. He kind of looks at you. He's like, "You look seaworthy."
I grew up on the sea. Tell me about your ship.
"It's big." Hauls a
Like
lot
a
of
big-
cargo. We have 60 rowers on my vessel.
Oh,
I don't think you're strapping enough to be one of my rowers, though.
no, I don't think so, but I could climb in the sails and do lots of other nimble jobs that you need done.
Well, in about a week, when we're ready to head south, let me know if you're looking for work. I'm always ready to take on some new people.
That's perfect.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Maybe while you're here, I can go check out the vessels during the week, if we
We have
stick
horses.
around. I don't know our plans yet.
Well, it sounds like this one says that you're planning on leaving. But if you're still here, stop by.
Thank you. I'm Kara.
I am the captain.
Nice to meet you, Captain.
Mon Capitan.
And he just kind of, very curtly, is like,
Can I buy you an ale?
no need. But I thank you for your courtesy. And he goes over and he looks at one of the relatively frail-looking chairs at one of the tables. He kind of like, these won't do for me and my crew. Do you have anything sturdier that we can sit upon? The innkeeper's like, I can go get some stumps or something.
Barrels full, come on.
That will do fine. And they just kind of stand around. And the guards that are starting to kind of recover from getting doors slammed into them kind of look up and they're like, they kind of look at one another. One of them says, I think I'm going to go get the watch captain. I'll go with you. Out the door.
They are the third people to go get the water.
I'll raise my glass to them, kind of chuckle as they run out. Cowards. Not much of a watch around here if they're running.
Alright, so now what are you guys doing? Time for you guys to discuss.
How much is the ship?
A lot.
We don't have enough for a ship. Like I think he was looking at like 2,000 gold, but we'd have to find one that's actually for sale, and there isn't one in this town.
Well,
What sucks is all of this is only not counting the exotic stuff, but I mean it's 400, 6. We have 420.
yeah, but that's only divided by 4
One.
people. Well, 5 people. You weren't
I'm
there
just
for
saying-
the end. Do you really get that money?
This is 421 gold.
I wanted to get you
No.
a card of horse right now.
I'm just saying this massive pile of coin is only 421 gold.
Yeah.
It's really
I'm
not.
just saying you disappeared
do it on
before
purpose.
all of
You
the
don't even know
bad
why I was
fighting.
gone.
You don't
You
even
don't
know
even know where you
I
were gone.
do.
I have no ideas that there's
She's not even there. You're an old
Giant-
lady walking down the stairs.
Minotaurs downstairs. But if anyone in this town is going to be able to break that coin into smaller bits for us, it's going to be somebody on that ship.
Wait, why do we need smaller bits?
Because carrying around
Classes,
500
yeah.
pounds of gold is...
Yeah.
Or
so with
carrying
all-
around 500 pounds of copper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be easier if you turned that into gold coins instead of a fuck ton
Oh,
of
no, I
copper.
thought you meant like breaking down the
That's
gold into
15 gold
smaller
coins,
pieces, and I was like,
basically,
no,
or-
that's not a good
Then
idea.
even the breaking down the silver pieces into gold would also be.
Yeah,
Yeah, just trying to make it so that
because you
we're
said it
carrying
was
less coin.
420 some odd
Yeah, because
gold. Yeah, that's
It's
a lot better than several thousands.
1,000 copper is 1 gold, right?
No,
100
No,
gold.
100
100
gold.
gold.
Okay, never mind. So
So yeah, 100 copper is 1 gold.
100 copper is 1 gold.
Yeah, because it's pennies to
Yeah.
a dollar.
Okay, so never mind. Then there's more than that. Then. I was thinking.
How far did the,
My brain isn't working.
what are they called? I want to keep calling
Tauros.
them minotaurs.
Tauros.
How far are they sitting from the bar or from us, or standing right now?
Well, you remember the layout. It's kind of like an L-shaped
Yeah.
layout. They're kind of not next to the fireplace, but further into the
Okay,
L.
so we could talk, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't really hear us if we kept it down.
Yeah, as long as you're not like yelling.
Yeah.
If you don't do it like Bree speech and you actually talk like normal people, they probably won't hear you.
That is a gift. There are some people that cannot carry their voices.
And then there are some people that can't talk quietly.
I'm really bad whispering.
Same thing with
That
silver,
wasn't there a
right?
Will Ferrell
Silver is
skit on
10 silver,
SNL and he
too.
had one
Yeah.
volume?
You wanna
This
paint
is the
your-
way I talk all the time. He's just yelling.
This is who I am.
So you guys still need to figure out what your
So,
plan is.
Oh, there's a
Lou,
lot more than
So
we need to figure out what we're doing because
actually.
the money's upstairs.
Party in
and
my room.
We have to figure out if we're leaving or we're.
Meanwhile, you're alone. Oh, you're
Yeah,
upstairs.
yeah.
You're not out.
You
You're
two,
not down there.
they're
Is
hanging
there
out
a-
with the money.
Is there a window
I
in
was
there?
gonna say all you.
Yeah, there's a
do is
window
go
in
up
there.
there.
Can I
and
just
then
be
she'll tell
sitting
you
by,
what's
like,
going on.
The frame, just like with my eyes over, just wagging my tail, looking out.
1150
Sure.
gold.
How tall are
Tail.
you?
I'm only 5'5".
That wouldn't, no.
That's as tall as
So
I
you're
am.
sitting on the floor,
Yeah.
staring out the
just-
window.
You make it sound like you're like 2 feet tall.
It's 1150.
No, he's a furry.
Huge.
That's why.
What's that?
What?
You should write that down because I'm not.
He's a
I
furry.
agree.
Ah, how tall are you?
5
5 foot.
feet.
Oh, okay.
He is a
That's
midget. He's mostly midget.
It's not that short.
No.
It's taller than most
It's
You
people.
guys
like
are terrible at
dirty.
this, by the way.
yeah.
You spend more time arguing about how tall people are than actually figuring out what it is you're going to do
I
next.
asked Lou what we're doing next.
I'm trying to figure out because I'm figuring out how much money we have.
He's
and
thinking about the shinies upstairs going, how
No.
much did we get? Okay, I can do this.
I'm
And he's
trying to figure out how to get this money out. Remember, I was part of a thieves guild, and I'm concerned that we're not going to be able to. We're going to have to abandon this money to leave. Is what's happening. That's where
We're gonna
I'm
need
at,
a lot
right?
of mason jars.
You know, because
Just
not
bury
only
it around.
so not only do we have 1150 gold,
With
plus we have another box full of big jugs with exotic plants, seeds, and soil that would be worth something to somebody, but
But
I don't know.
probably not here.
And not here. So that box has to come with us, but we have to figure out a way to break down this gold quickly. Like you said, this ship
Okay.
likely would have
You're
that.
talking to us though.
I am talking to you right now.
So what?
She's not there.
She's not there.
Yeah, I don't know
You're
there's
talking to
cowfolk yet.
Us three are here.
Right.
So what do you suggest we do then, Winston?
We need quickly to disperse this money. Either we purchase things to move it,
Throw one big ass party.
or we buy.
Party with the tourists.
Because we can't leave it with the innkeeper because it's
It
just
can
going to
make
get
a nice
stolen from
space.
him.
Yeah, he's gonna
Or he's gonna use it.
Or
so.
we leave someone here
No,
to.
I mean,
the only other option is we move on somewhere
Well, so
with the money with the
outside,
cart
Or we
and the
go
horse.
back to the Black's house.
outside of the
quickly.
money situation,
Well, because the Liam had something on his door, and this
This-
count
yeah, the
obviously
count
is going to go after them because of witchcraft because of his sister.
yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to be targeted very quickly.
So someone
And
has
they
to
helped
guard the
us.
money here, and someone has to go check on the kids.
Or we go to the count directly.
Well, we have to stop
Yeah, but what if the
guards
count-
are
Well,
going
the
to
guard-
kill?
we-
They're going to go kill
Yeah.
the
What
kids
if the
before we get to
the
the
captain
count.
of the guards is going to their
So-
house?
Is
Hang
anybody
on.
coming there
Real
right
quick.
now?
Upstairs, downstairs,
No,
downstairs.
she's
down.
No,
downstairs.
downstairs
Coming
again.
downstairs.
So it's
you,
just the
and
two of
you
us.
two are the only ones upstairs.
Okay,
So
I'm
we're
gonna go
fine.
figure out what's taking so long because she was supposed to go get Kara.
So you're gonna leave
No, I
the
was gonna get a
stranger with the
cart,
gold?
not Kara.
Don't take my gold, and I'll go
Okay.
downstairs.
No, I'm not getting Kara. I'm getting a cart.
No, Kara. Kara was the first step.
Kara was not the first. I'm not supposed to communicate with you guys. I'm in disguise.
Okay, I go
So
downstairs.
there's some strange woman sitting over there staring at you guys.
Just like.
I go downstairs.
No, you're
Alright,
just
you
sitting
go
there like,
downstairs, you
Can
see
we help
her
you?
See the three
kind of
of them
off to one
bickering,
side. Yeah.
right? And then her doing the thing.
Yeah.
I just look at them like, and I'll go back up the stairs.
All right.
At this
There's-
point, you have left with all the money.
Well, no, they just were sitting in the inn like talking about killing the count and everything.
walking
Somehow,
by like
within
this.
seconds, you have transported 500 pounds worth of stuff. Out.
You did not.
No, I was trying to kind of dragging.
No, that was
Okay.
definitely a dab.
That was
No,
a dab.
that was a yeah.
Okay, don't be embarrassed by it.
No,
Dab
you
with
should be.
pride. Commit to it and just do it.
Anyway,
Okay, so we'll. Oh, all right, let's go upstairs. So I look at these two and we start
When they
heading
come back,
upstairs.
can I just be
There's
sitting
no
there in
guards
front of the
down here
gold like
anymore. What
this?
do we have to hide from? The
Like, just
gold?
staring
the
at
big
You can do
bold
whatever
people
you
that
want.
walked in.
They get offended
Maybe
by
we don't want
everything.
them to know our
Maybe they want a
business.
did you say that out loud?
No. The big bull people. The big bull guys over there. No. He's saying, why are we trying
We
to
gotta get in a
hide
fight.
things? Because we have a crap ton of money upstairs.
I'm
That's
sure-
not another thing to announce.
I'm not saying it out loud. I'm saying it to him.
Go back up to my room.
So you,
Check
so
my
you guys
balls
make your
over
way
here.
up
We're
to
just gonna pick
the
her up
room.
the stairs.
I didn't call him a cow. You did. No, you did.
Walking
Alright,
upstairs
so I'll
like
follow
this.
her and go upstairs, whatever they're gonna do. Does she start following us?
No, I'm leaving.
She's like, no, screw you guys. I'm going home.
I'm looking for a cart and a horse.
Alright, so you go outside and you begin walking down the street, and you get to the where the stables are, which is basically on the edge of town with the blacksmith. And you start talking to one of the locals about buying a horse. And he's like, well, I could sell you a mule. We don't have very many horses here. I could sell you 2 mules and give you, say, throw in that cart, and he points over to kind of this like rickety looking thing.
I need something a bit more sturdy than that.
Well, all right. How much are you looking to spend for this? What is your budget?
How many beans did we give her for this cow?
He kind of leads you down like a series of like these used carts.
Make sure you kick the tire. Kick the tires on it.
Starts kicking the wheels.
Yes.
It's for real estate.
Well, he's
Okay,
serious.
I'm going to offer 7 gold pieces for a cart and a horse.
Doesn't have any horses.
I don't have any horses to sell.
Dos mules.
I know
Two
you have a
mules.
horse.
Take the 2 mules anyway. They're better at pulling a cart.
Can I roll charisma and see what I can get and see if I can get
Well,
him
you're
to
not
give
going to
me a
magically
horse?
make horses appear.
But I thought you said he doesn't have many.
I don't understand why this isn't working.
I said there's not very many horses in town. He doesn't have any horses.
Okay, I thought he meant he doesn't have very many horses and he just wasn't gonna give me a horse. And I was like, that's not cool. I want a horse.
Besides,
Shut up
horses
and
are
take my
expensive.
money.
Horses are
The
expensive.
mule is going to be better for the
I'll
cart.
do 2 mules and a cart, a sturdy cart, for 8 gold pieces.
Wait, you
Okay,
just
so you're-
went up a gold.
Yes, because it's 2 mules.
And kind of goes over, like kind of looks through. Well, I just repaired this one. Believe it or not, most of our carts get run down around here pretty quick. Being dragged through like the shallows and everything. They break down. They're not very effective in this particular region. But I've just put some new wheels on this one, and you could use this one. I'd be willing to give it up for, and the two mules for 8 gold. That's reasonable.
Does it come with skids?
Do they come with spinning rims? I'm gonna go up and inspect it. Do I notice anything that could be obviously wrong or that like it wouldn't hold enough?
Do I know shit about wagons?
Do you have land vehicles as a proficiency?
No. But maybe I
Then
could
roll an
She's
intelligence check.
That's a
maybe I could paint it and make
Sorry.
it look pretty and then disguise kit proficiency. Okay, intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
Go with that.
You kind of look it over and you kind of shake it a little bit. It doesn't really. It seems pretty solid.
Okay.
It doesn't have spoked wheels. It's just basically planks of wood that are nailed together and then basically cut into a round shape and then bound with iron.
Okay.
Big dinner table.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I'll take it. So I'll give
Alright.
him the 8 gold pieces.
Don't forget food for the mules.
And the skids.
What are skids?
They're the things you put underneath the wheels when you're going, like a sled almost. Like when you're going over muck instead of ruining your wheels.
Do you have anything extra to help these kids?
Does this vehicle come with any upgrades?
Sorry, this is it's a cart.
You get what you get.
I mean, I can give you everything you need to basically hook your mules up to it, and
If you get stuck in the mud, you just put your disc underneath the cart. There's no horses during that.
Okay.
Sleigh style.
Would that be extra?
for what?
Like the
For-
barding and stuff.
No, that just comes with
Okay.
it.
That would be useful.
Like, do you know how to harness your mules?
I'd appreciate the extra know-how as well.
All right, come along, ma'am. Basically takes you like you're an old woman over to the carts, and he starts showing you how to put everything together.
I guess flushing your bits wouldn't have gotten you anywhere right now, huh?
He said
Give me a
she's
perception
perky
check.
for an old lady. Though, so.
That's true. She has no idea.
It's an 8.
Okay. You hear a little bit of a commotion out in town, but you don't really pay much attention to
You're
it.
focused. It's
You're
good.
focused on how do you actually strap this yoke to
Why do people use these things?
a mule.
That was a really long arm hair.
Focus.
So what are you guys
You're
doing?
buying mule.
But I'm already distracted.
Yeah,
So
you're
did
done.
you-
What
did
are
you pay
what's
him?
everybody else doing?
So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
followed Callista
Yep, upstairs.
upstairs, and we're in the bedroom, and got a pile of gold. That one's by the window. What way
Oh, I
is this
moved.
window? Okay, well, what way is that window face?
That particular window faces into town.
Um,
Across the hall, room number. Wait a minute. What room
We're
are
in
you-
5.
Yeah, you're in 5. Yeah, so you're in a room that faces
Wait, why are you in 5? 5 was
the
my
town.
room.
Because they gave you the room, the key to the same room.
She didn't have a room, so
Yeah.
She just went
You
upstairs.
just
She was-
went upstairs?
Yes.
In the hallway
my room?
upstairs.
That cost me a silver piece.
Focus. Okay. So we were talking downstairs, and we got distracted. We have to figure out what we're gonna do, and then these tourists,
Mhm.
came in, and
And the guards are coming
the
back.
guards are coming back with the captain. So we need to figure out what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Well, Callista went to go get a wagon. It's less conspicuous than the cart.
Wait, I got a
Did you
wagon?
handle the bones?
yeah, you have a cart. She's talking
You've
about
got a
her
little-
disc.
Yeah, I'm aware.
All right. If we're done with the bones, we don't need to stay in town. I think we should check on Liam and Tessa, because that's gonna be them next. Those kids are spooky.
So, do we leave someone here with gold? That's what we were talking about when you came down.
Let's
here. So
load
we-
the cart up with the gold
and take everyone go.
and go to find out if Liam and Tessa are willing to leave the area. Because
Oh, just take them with us.
until the ban is lifted, what else can they do?
Okay. And
They
then
can't
where-
protect themselves.
And then where to after that?
Tessa already seems to know that there's danger coming and that they're gonna have to leave, though she doesn't want to.
Did she say that?
Yeah, last night she came up while I was standing watch in her creepy way.
That
You
girl
know,
is bag of cats crazy.
She's crazy, but she also has the insight of spirits who know more than we do. So, anyway, bottom line, I think we should go check on them, because if they're the next target of these guards.
Well, we don't have to go all the way out there. We can assume that Liam is still in his house in
Yeah,
town.
that's what I mean.
So,
If we can get all this done and taken care of before the guards get back with the captain, that would be best. Otherwise, there's a window.
I like running into things.
we can.
Are you staring out the window?
Well, I went from looking at the gold to like looking where she was. So I went by her, or you were looking out the window. Right?
No, I just asked about the window.
Oh, okay.
with
So now I
the
went back
case.
to the window.
Okay.
So if you want to let us know when Callista's coming back with the cart, we can
Or guards.
or guards. We'll head down when she starts coming back, so we can.
Should
And
we?
what
You're
if the
outside.
guards get back here first?
So should we put the guards aren't here yet? It would be wise to take the disc downstairs now and
Hide it
out the
out
back.
back.
And put
We
the
could go
stuff
out
back
the-
and
we
have
could go down the
is there
stairs,
a
or we
back
could go out the
behind the
window.
inn, basically, then, or like a
No,
hallway?
the only stairs is the ones that you guys.
No,
just
I mean
came
if we
up.
go down and go inside,
There's a back door,
yeah. 'cause
but
we-
you have to go through the kitchen. But you're pretty sure the inn owner will let you go through there.
Okay. So I'm gonna go downstairs now and ask him about us going out the back door with our disc, because he said that he needs to get out of here.
I'll pass you a couple gold pieces to give to the innkeeper.
So you're watching out the window, kind of paying attention. You see that there's a bit of commotion near the town square. And you see that it's starting to get a little rambunctious down there. You see several guards are kind of pushing some people off to the side and everything. And you see a couple of guards cut the boys down from before. Then you see them start throwing like bundles of wood up around where the gallows is at.
Resetting the gallows.
No, this is wood.
I get shivers. Is anybody else in the room with me?
Yeah, all these people
We're
are
all
except
Okay.
her.
No, I'm not
Cover
here.
me. That was
She's watching
yeah,
this,
she's
this
down-
guy
she's
show
downstairs,
her
so
try
us
to.
3 are here.
Okay. I just kind of like shyly point outside towards where it is.
Who's
Yeah.
facing it? Does the door face the window? So like I could see what he's pointing at or see him pointing
Yeah,
at?
if you're at the door, you would be looking at
Because
the window.
that's where I'd be straight across from. What? I'll go over the window and look out and see what's going on.
You see the town is kind of gathered around in a circle kind of around where the gallows was at. You see that the boys are no longer hanging from those gallows, but you see that some of the guards are starting to pile up these bundles of like twigs and wood and stuff up around the base of this
You want to burn some
gallows
people.
post.
I think we. might
And you
have a-
see kind of off down a little ways, you see a couple of guards dragging a small 2-wheeled cart along behind them.
Can I see what's in the cart? I'll turn back to them and say, there's something going on in the town square. It looks like they're setting the gallows to burn something. It can't be good.
Alright.
So I think we need to take the money downstairs out the back and then go check on that like right now.
Alright, if you want to handle the money, I'm going to head towards the square and see what's going on. I'm going to make sure that I have my hood up and cover up. Like, not my whole face, but just the forehead.
Yeah, you just basically pull your
Yeah.
head down.
I've paid. I'm downstairs and
So
Okay,
you're down talking to the innkeeper.
So we'll make our way downstairs.
Well, I see him come down, and obviously in a hurry.
Well, you're talking to the innkeeper. We'll
Okay.
start there.
Okay. Is it okay if we bring our disc down and through the back door?
He kind of looks at the doorway. I'm not sure your disc could fit through that, but yeah, you guys are more than welcome.
Okay.
If it's all that stuff you guys had on the disc, is it fragile, or could you just toss it out the window?
That's what I was planning.
I'm a
Uh,
good climber.
Mind you, oh wait, what room did you go to?
5?
Oh, that's facing towards the town. What you need is hand you a key to like number 6. That one goes out towards the back. It's towards the harbor. Nobody would see you out in that direction unless they're down on the docks.
Okay. I'll hand him 2 gold pieces for his help with everything
Thanks,
that we've
it's
been
like-
doing.
Thank you very much. And you see him kind of push on like a knot in the wood, and a little thing opens up, and he slips the gold into like a little hidden cubby,
Nice.
pops it back closed.
Alright. And then I'm gonna
And he's like, shh.
give him the thumbs up. The secret thumbs up. And then I'm gonna kind of.
You're making your way up back up the stairs as Lou is coming down the stairs.
What's going on?
Something in the town square. Looks like they're setting up the gallows with bundles of wood for the burning. They're going to start taking care of, you know what, I'm going to head over there and take a look what's going on.
Don't go far, I'll be behind you. I'm gonna hurry up and I'm gonna do the dash up, hand them the key to room
Alright.
6.
So you can use, since you're a rogue, you're automatically just faster than most people because you get that extra dash movement for free, even though we're not going on
Yeah,
rounds
you're
or
just
whatever.
like super fast.
Yeah, you're just faster. So you run up there, pop the door open, throw a key at who?
Well, she's closest to the door.
Alright.
I'll toss the
So
key.
you see the door open.
Shoot by the window.
What's this for?
Room 6 has a window out the back. Throw the stuff out that way.
Oh, and where you're going after Lou?
Yes. Friend Lou needs help. I'm like,
I'm shaking my head because I'm like that. I would be better to go than the bird, but whatever.
you should see.
So
Meanwhile-
I'm gonna go over and start.
I'm the one that
I'm
held
gonna
my own
go.
against the elf
All
ghost.
right, all right.
Remember that?
I'm gonna go.
He comes back upstairs to make a fight about this. What'd you
Just
say
kind of
about
looking
me?
up at you.
I'm gonna go unlock room 6.
Okay.
Because he probably left the door wide open. It's straight across, right?
Yeah.
Unlock it. I'm gonna start just because I want to get to the fight.
Alright.
It's
I'm
not
just-
even, we don't even know if they're gonna
Well,
be a
I want to get to the commotion. If there's commotion, there's a chance to punch people. So I'm gonna go start like hefting stuff
You're
off the
also
disc.
stronger than I am. That's why you have to throw
Okay,
the
so
shit
I'm
out
gonna
the
go
window.
start hefting stuff off the disc.
We don't even need to. We can just take it out.
The whole disc can just go out the window.
As long as I go out the window, it'll follow me.
I was
How
gonna say
big how big around is your disc? Because it will only fit through certain openings.
I think it's 3 feet around.
Yeah, it won't go out the window.
The in window's probably like.
Yeah, it's
Although, can you make it levitate outside the window?
I could, but I'd have to recast the spell.
That'd be an extra step. So
Yeah.
we'll
yeah,
just
an
start.
extra 10 minutes when you just
Okay.
throw that out the window.
So I'll have you bring your disc.
But you guys have jars of stuff.
Yeah, well we can sort
We'll be
through
careful.
it.
It'll be fine.
Calice, can you bring the disc to this room and we'll start?
Yeah, I'll bring the disc over and then close both of the doors. And I'll open the door back up and be like, "Why don't you go with
Yeah,
Lou?"
let's
And then I'll
go
close
for
the door again.
For the box with this.
You have no. You might. Oh no, he introduced himself. He's like the only one that has really introduced himself. To you.
Yeah.
So you know who Lou
It
is?
was in
Kara
her.
did too.
Oh, okay, I missed that one.
Like only these
So
two.
well, I'll look over and be like, come on, we're gonna go now. You come with us.
Okay. Don't I need to kind of
I thought they wanted to jump out the window.
hide?
There's not really.
There's not any, we don't have time. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. We need to.
Grab a bed sheet.
At this
Let's
point,
go.
Callista, you are on your cart. And you're like getting the mules going. You like learn the various commands and everything, and you're like getting the cart to go, and it kind of.
Basically, drunk driving the cart around
Yeah,
there.
you're a little old woman.
Instead of letting just the mules kind of go down the road, you're kind of overcompensating on them, pulling on the reins. And
No
everything.
drifting, please.
But it's not going very fast. But you hear a cart coming from down like a little side road, and you see two guards are basically leading an ox that has a cart attached to it. In the back of the cart, you see two bundled up figures, Liam and Tessa.
Breaks out of old lady costume.
Yeah. Turns back into tiefling. Do I have any idea of what's going on? Like, are they conscious?
They are bundled up, tied up. They don't seem to be moving. That's all you know. They don't tie up corpses, so.
Yeah.
Well, in the aura, they probably.
Well, the corpses still move in Dior. That's a completely different situation. Doesn't apply here.
Okay, I'm going to continue and try and keep kind of not necessarily level with them, fall back a bit, but stay like keep my cart near theirs.
Just behind them.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, Lou and Winsu, you guys get to the town square where a number of people have kind of gathered up. None of them are like doing the mob yelling, rioting kind of thing, just to kind of gather together like what's going on.
Who's
And
getting?
they're all kind of whispering to one another. You hear a handful of them are talking about, should we step in? I don't know, who do they have? I hear they have those black children. Oh, well, honestly, they're not really they really shouldn't do anything to help them anyway. I mean, they've been a blight on town now for a while. And then some other people were like, oh, but they're just kids. And basically just the general muttering and talking going on as the guards basically have set up a perimeter around this post that they are planning to, these two posts that are now have piles of wood kind of bundled around, and you see a couple of guards running, kind of walking around it, just dousing the whole thing with these barrels of oil.
Do I see any? Like, is the captain of the guard here, or not? Is it just guards in general?
Right now, you just see guards.
Okay. How many guards again?
Right here, there's about 20 of them.
Oh, okay. I was thinking fewer.
Present.
And they got morphed and
This is bad, Lou. Real bad.
Alright.
Can we see what direction?
Well, we know where the cart's coming
We
from.
know which direction the cart was coming from, or
Yeah.
Let's head towards. I want to head towards the cart because I don't know what's on the cart, and I want to see.
All right, so you kind of make your way basically back kind of out of the crowd a little bit and around the outside edge of it. Meanwhile, you guys are tossing the bags outside, and they're just kind of landing at the base with kind of a jingle and a sploosh as they kind of sink into some of the various little mud puddles and stuff.
When we get
You know,
to
they're
the,
not disappearing or anything, but it's damp down
when
there.
we get to the box of like botanical stuff, I'm gonna tie a rope around it and gently lower it down because throwing it out the window will just crush everything.
Okay.
So, is there anything else that was?
that was one
All
of the things.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
box with a head in it,
Do you think I should lower that down with the rope?
gently. Okay. I mean, it's a head.
Or it's magical, and usually that stuff doesn't really.
Or it could explode on impact. That'd be cool.
Did you guys take that orb too or no?
Nope, that shit left.
So I'll.
left it there.
Are we through like all the stuff on the disc? Is it off?
Yeah.
So I'll.
It doesn't take very long. I
Okay.
mean, just tossing some bags out a window is not going to take you all that long.
All right. Do you want to go out the window?
Sure.
Okay. So
Alright.
Jumps out.
wait down there for us. We'll be right there.
You're going to just use the rope that they lowered the box on.
Well, am I able to climb down down the building?
You can make a climb check for it if you want.
Is it this way?
Yeah. Athletics check.
Okay. 11.
It's not the most graceful climb down the side, but yeah, you can climb down it.
Okay.
You land down there next to the box and the bags of coins.
Pull the rope back up and I'll look to Calisthane and say, okay, let's go.
All right.
Alright.
I climb out the window.
You going out the window?
Fuck
I'm
yeah,
going
out
back down the
window.
stairs to give the guy his keys.
Okay, so you go downstairs and you're going to climb out the window. Athletics check.
I want to be cool.
Can I move? So I don't
Scurries away very quickly.
I cast Featherfall. Take myself down gently.
You
Like
see
a
the
fucking
dragonborn
swan,
kind of like
alright?
awkwardly climb into the window, kind of like, and just kind of gently fall down to the ground.
Fuck you guys.
It initially looked like she like fell out the window, but she reacted really quick and just kind of gracefully glides down.
I got a 3.
You okay there?
I'm fine. Why are you still here? Go with Lou.
I don't know.
I've got like 5 seconds till I hit the ground.
Just sit there. It's just floating down. Hello.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Go where?
Burning fire, I'm guessing.
We're just gonna leave our treasure.
Well, we're taking the cart. We've got a mule rider here,
Well,
right?
you don't
Not
know
yet.
that.
She's not there yet.
Following
Where
the
are
cart.
you?
I'm following the cart of children.
Okay, so I go down the stairs.
Because I can't fight guards
The,
by
the
myself.
innkeeper's like, you don't see the innkeeper. He's over. Well, actually, at first you don't see him because you look towards the bar, and then you look over and you see that the door is open. And you see him and his daughter standing like a few feet just outside the door, and they're just kind of muttering about something.
I'll go through the door and go to one side of him and just look at where he's going and
You see, he's just looking at the crowd of people,
yeah.
and you overhear him say, "Go pack your stuff."
So I'll give him the keys and thank you again for all of your help. We really appreciate it. I'm really sorry that your inn in this town has gone to this, but
It was bound to happen eventually. You should get your friends and get out of here, though. For one, they've seen you using magic. You look like you have some coin on you. Whatever you were using the magic to make float around has obviously got some value to it. They're going to come for you.
yeah,
I imagine you're fairly tough, but there's a lot of them.
there are
And they have the weight of the kingdom on their side.
We do need to go, but I have friends that, and well, we all feel that we need to check up on the children and make sure that
Oh, you haven't heard?
what
That's what the fire's going to be for.
that's them down there. So I get kind of, and I'm like thinking, and so I kind of peek my head. What are the tourists doing?
They are very happily drinking over in the corner.
So I'm gonna go back inside and approach them
How do you feel about burning children at the stake?
And I'm just
I don't know.
gonna,
Barbecue?
I'm
Are they
gonna
giving a good rub?
approach respectfully and, I know you're having a good time and you're on shore leave, but I have a favor to ask you,
Which one are you addressing?
the captain.
Okay. He just kind of looks at you.
I'll walk up and I'll say, Captain. And I'll-
Ah.
yeah. I have a favor to ask of you on behalf of this town. You seem to enjoy coming here. I don't know if you've been here before, but it's a
Nope,
nice,
it's the first time.
it's a nice place. It was a quiet place until a couple days ago. But down in the square right now, the town guards are threatening to burn 2 children.
What did they do?
Nothing. They helped us go and put a spirit to rest that was tormenting people basically, and those 2 children gave us places to sleep and fed us, and
And you're saying that they didn't break any laws.
they broke the law that the kingdom has enforced right now, which says there's no use of magic. And
Tessa doesn't actually do magic though.
None of them do.
so,
Yeah,
but she doesn't do magic. She's just kind of, she has a glowy eye, and they've always been wary of her. I don't know.
Good.
So what I'm asking you is if you would help us rescue these children. We can pay you.
That means I wouldn't be able to come back to Calmoria, because I'll be wanted. And
Yes and no.
I don't mean any offense, but apparently you know very little of our culture. We don't care much for breaking laws.
But what about burning children? Just justifying themselves. They're justifying burning those kids because they feel like it. Isn't that against the law?
Well, it would be against the law where I come from, but these are not my lands. I don't feel that I should go in and dictate the laws to foreigners. Just as though I wouldn't want you, for example, coming into my lands and telling us that we couldn't follow our laws. Although I do agree with you, and though I myself, nor these 3 can lend you any aid, perhaps she would be willing to. She is not Tauros and not bound by our laws.
I'll look over at the human and I'll say, well, that wasn't the first mate though, right? That was just another.
She's just a woman. You have no idea what her name is at this point.
I'll-
He hasn't even mentioned it. You're not sure why, but
No.
mind you, he hasn't mentioned anybody's names.
You do too, Captain.
Then the first mate.
It's the only name that matters.
And I'll look over at her and I'll say, ma'am, my name is Kara, and would you be willing to help us? You heard what we were just talking about. You're not obligated to, it's just we need some help.
She's like, I am Zakari. I do not wish to get involved in your issues here. However, I could be persuaded to be hired for a short period of time to lend you a little bit of extra muscle if that's what you desire.
That would be great.
I have no love for the burning of children, but I don't know if you know about where I come from. Slavery is fairly common, and the ownership of said slaves is pretty much deemed whatever the owner wishes to do is their rights. But like I said, this is, like he said, this isn't my lands, and I'm willing to do a great number of things that I would deem illegal in most places for the right amount of coin.
Do you have a set price, or would you like to discuss that after, depending on the extent of what we do?
Kind of looks over at the captain. Captain's like, once you're done, you go back to the ship. You don't come off the ship until we're gone. 50 gold.
Go for it.
So I don't have that on me right this minute. I look stupid, but I can be back in just 1 minute, or if you can come with me.
Don't make her back there.
Okay.
Show her the gold.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Just
So I'll go
hold on,
out
let me
and-
show you my pile.
Oh my god, I'm like, oh!
So you can have 50 of them. Like that. You need to pay her in copper.
Just give her a bag of
Paying in
copper.
pennies.
Oh.
This is going to take a little while.
So I'll go past the innkeeper and kind of, say, excuse me, and I'll go back to the back and find these two. You're just waiting by the
Yeah, they're just
pile.
kind of standing next to a pile of stuff, awkwardly staring at one another.
So, Calistae,
I'm kind of looking around for some place to stash it.
I need some more gold.
How much?
I need 50 gold.
I'll throw 50 gold at her. We're in a hurry.
Okay, so I grab it, go back inside,
Alright, go back
plunk
inside.
it on the table
I'll
in front
take it
of
from
the
my gold.
human woman and say, here's your payment. It's kind of a hasty.
She kind of scoops the money off the table and into a purse. Kind of looks around. Captain, may I? He's like, sure. Pulls the cutlass out of his sash and hands it to her. And she takes it. She's like, let's go.
All right, this way. So I'm gonna go out front and kind of. We should have discussed who's gonna stay with the money, or no one's staying with the money.
Throw a tarp over it. Let's go do the thing. Everybody in town is paying attention to that anyway.
Do we have a tarp?
You could probably find one
No,
Try
we
out
have
a
the one. We
blanket
have
in
the
your
one
bedroll,
from.
too.
before.
Yeah, we have the one from
Okay.
the blacks.
So I'll ask her to wait there for a second again, and I'll kind of peek her in the corner and be like, psst. I'll wave to you guys, and hopefully.
Throw a tarp over it. Leash the mules to a standing
She's
post.
still not there.
I'm not there yet.
Fuck's sake, hurry up! Okay. Okay, throw a tarp over it, walk away.
Okay.
So, and
Don't look at
I'll, they'll come around the corner, and I was like, we have some help, let's go, no time to explain. Let's
I
go."
cast mage armor.
Okay.
And so we'll make our way
Meanwhile,
towards-
you two are made your way around to the crowd, and as the cart comes rolling up, you look in the back and you see both Liam and Tessa are unconscious.
All right.
And Liam is pretty bruised. Looks like he put up a fight, which you kind of
How
expect
many
him to
guards
do.
are with the cart?
There are two. One is like basically dressed like all the other guards, and the other one is wearing a fairly nice set of chainmail. Has a shield with the crest of the kingdom on it, and then a long sword.
I want to stop the guards. So I'm gonna go up. It's like, you there? What are you doing?
Forcing the laws of the kingdom. What are you doing?
So
Your
I am a noble.
Is the cart? Is there nobody in the front of it now, where the horses are at?
How many guards are
It's
on
There's
an
it?
nobody
ox.
behind it. It's an
an
ox.
How
Okay,
many
so
guards
no.
are with the cart?
So we're
Two.
moving very fast,
Two?
then.
I
A captain and one guard.
Okay.
Well, I'm asking.
So part of a noble is a position of privilege,
Mm-hmm.
which I know is because of my noble birth, people are liable to think the best of me. Common folk make every effort to accommodate me. So what I want to do is I want
Did
to
you take the cart there
show
instead of
my
going to
signet
the-
ring.
Okay.
And say, obviously, I demand that you release these children at once.
And kind of like looks at the ring, kind of looks at you. He's like, "Sir, I understand that you have certain privilege that stands behind you, but these are not your lands. I don't know if I would be allowed to deliver them into your hands, into your custody. Do you intend to deal with them in accordance with the laws of the land?"
These laws are unjust. This is what you're. Just two guards. I know what I'm. But what you plan to do with these children, burning them, is inhuman. This is not right in any way, and you know this. You should know this. I want to try and use persuasion.
All right, go ahead.
11.
Kind of looks at you, he's like, "Sir, my lord, while I concur, I am not in a position to stand against the decision of the local nobility or the law set forth by the crown. If you wish to protest judgment of these two, we can lock them away briefly while you go and seek audience with the crown to try to persuade Her Majesty to alter the laws in this particular situation. However, I will not be here for more than another 2 days, as I have other posts that I have to attend to, and the guard that comes to replace me may just deal with the situation after you are gone.
Well, I
He
don't
wants
think
to
we
rumble.
I don't think we have time for that. I draw my sword. Release them at once.
He's like, "Sir, please. I do not wish to add another to the pyre." Meanwhile, what is Winsu and the Callista doing?
I have an idea.
Well, speak up.
I'm debating whether or not to create a rumble of thunder near the ox.
I'm not going to give you any hints. You'll have to decide what you want to
I'm
do.
trying to think.
Well, it's up to you what you want to do.
Okay, I think I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy again and create a rumble of thunder near. Wait, no, not yet. I have mules.
Alright.
I'm
Meanwhile, while
going to
she's...
pull my cart to the side and bark.
Alright, you see an old woman with a cart kind of moving off to the side.
Cast and drive.
I'm motioning to her to go to the inn with that cart
Okay.
so that you'll go and stop dinking around here with the cart. You're dinking around.
There is much
with the
dinkage.
cart. I'm telling you to go.
There's more dinkage than
Do you know
Peter.
who she is?
I
No,
know.
you don't know who I am yet.
Didn't he see
Get this
her?
old lady out of here.
You were,
Oh, wait, what is...
No,
you rolled
you
a...
and you.
You rolled
I
a
rolled a
20.
25.
Oh, yeah, then, yeah.
I know
And you're a
exactly who
rogue.
you are.
Who
Anyway, so
You'd
if the
recognize
cart-
those boobs anywhere.
what I'm trying to figure out is if this is the cart,
Or shiny gray.
where, and the kids are in the back, the ox are over here. Is the ox facing the fire?
Yes,
Or-
because they're on their way
Or
towards the
pulling
town square.
towards the
Okay.
town square.
And then, so they're here facing.
They're all
towards
in the
fire,
front.
And he's
I mean,
No,
No, the cart-
everybody is
everyone's
in
in
the
the
front.
front.
No
Yeah.
one is in the back.
okay.
And you're sneaky, so.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure
But not
out
super
here.
buff.
I'm not super buff. I can't carry these kids though. That's the thing. Wait though. You had the cart back here.
Yes.
Not that close though. How close?
How close were you with the cart?
I was following close enough, but I got closer.
How
as
close
they
is close
stopped.
enough?
How close? Is
Just
close?
pick a distance and that's where you're at.
And you're arguing with them, so
It's
7
supposed to
feet.
be 1 cart length.
20 feet?
7 feet.
7 feet?
Yeah,
Okay, so you
close.
pulled up right behind it. Okay.
you're right there. Okay.
Yes.
So
You're just
if I was with you here, so I'm going to slip out while they're arguing towards the back then. So
Okay,
I guess
give me
then-
a stealth check. See if you slip back just kind of unnoticed, since he is putting on quite the show.
could that be an assist?
Yeah, I'll allow you to have advantage because
Yeah.
they are distracted.
14 anyway for the
Okay.
stealth.
Alright, so they're passive would not notice you.
Okay.
As you slip to the back of the cart,
All right.
2.
So if she's actually there, I'm gonna put my hand up again, and I'm gonna motion you to come over here. We're gonna cut the kids loose, and try to pull them.
Waste time cutting the kids loose. Just
No, just grab the bodies.
doesn't the granny have?
Well, I don't
They're
know if
unconscious.
I can. They're unconscious. So I don't know if I can pick up.
Well, she
You
doesn't
can
weigh
carry-
much more than about 70
I
pounds.
was gonna say you could carry Tessa all across Liam.
Soaking wet with bricks in a
Can you
pocket.
carry
Yeah.
them?
Can I carry
She's
Liam?
tiny.
Strength.
He's
No, you're
probably about
50.
160 pounds,
both.
so I have no idea.
Yeah, we're
Where's
both.
your strength?
It's 9 times 15 is your carry weight total.
So not quite enough to be able to you could drag him, or you could put the girl in the cart and then come back and
Or
assist
you
her.
could
to
both-
carry.
You guys could
You
both
could
take
both-
him.
We could both grab Liam, but then Tess is the one that they're mainly after.
Well, they're
No,
gonna.
but
You'll
after
leave him
both.
behind?
No.
No.
I just don't know what to do. 'cause
Just
we
take
need to-
both.
We need to
We'll
go
take them
fast.
both.
Just do
So,
one and then do the other.
Yeah.
But the longer you wait, the more likely it is you're going to get
No, we're
caught.
hurrying up
Because
and throwing
time
them-
is passing as you
Yeah,
guys are
we're throwing
debating
them
what
both
to
in
do.
the cart. We'll
Okay.
start together with Liam. Then you get on the cart. I'll pick up Tessa and run back with Tessa to the cart because I can carry her
Okay.
All right, so
together.
by the time you get Liam into the cart, he draws his sword,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's where that whole exchange begins. You guys get to the crowd. You're basically at the crowd, and you're kind of making your way along the edge of the crowd, and you can see him arguing with whom you would guess to be the captain of the guard because he is dressed in a more higher-ranking kind of fashion than the other guards, and they're kind of arguing. You see him draw a sword. Give me a perception check. You and you.
And shoot.
20.
Mother
Total
fucker.
20.
7.
27.
18.
All right,
Why
so
you put
you
it
two
on
notice
It's a hand
Lou.
shoot far.
and the strange old lady. Well, she can't really make that whole cover anymore.
Yeah.
You see that there's someone, what you thought was an old lady, moving a lot more spryly at the moment. As it looks like they put something in the back of the wagon. She climbs up on top of the cart with the two mules, and he's going back to the cart that has the ox tied to it. And you see him heft up Tessa.
I'm
Initiative.
For
Gonna, I
all
want
of
to
us.
use my
or-
40
Yeah.
Okay.
my speed.
No, just
Only
us
if you
kid.
don't
You're
want
old.
to do anything. Except stand there and watch.
I don't know. I don't
Hey, this is gonna be exciting.
Ooh, nice.
What's that?
Okay.
Initiative is going to be plus that.
Blue.
20.
One, two.
17.
I rolled high because I've only got a +1.
Mordai,
16.
Callista,
14.
Kara,
16.
that guy.
5.
Okay, so Lou is first.
All right, Lou. You.
Me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's
keep-
right. Liam and Luke. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Too
right.
many
We're
L's and
pairing,
K's
right?
here.
Yeah, I don't know why I always think you're Lou for some reason.
So
Good bird name.
I'm Winslow.
It's the ship name. All right, got it.
Okay.
All right. So what you
Yeah.
doing?
So I see that he's doing that. I pretty much just want to keep distracting him at the moment. I don't want to actually engage in a fight quite yet.
So you what ho?
Yeah, so
Do your
basically,
vigorous jazz hands
No.
with them. And
Helicopter
look
wave
what I
the
can do.
sword around.
Zakari goes on 12.
so I basically want to just keep talking. I'll hold.
So what do you say?
No, you can be reasonable about this. Just let us take them. You can say that you were accosted by whoever you want to say, and then whatever happens to them happens to them. You don't need to be part of, burning children.
He just kind of looks at you as he prepares to. You see his hand resting upon the hilt of his sword. He's like, "Sir, I have served the kingdom all of my adult life. I would not turn against them now. I might disagree with the judgment, but I must stand my ground. Duty demands it."
Well, I'm just gonna hold my action for when he comes to attack me. Then I'll, strike back. So.
So,
Sorry, after Lou, it's gonna be Wensu.
So I have to test that to get her into that.
all right. So you
You
take
can
Tessa
decide
around
what you wanna
to the back of the carton, kind of put her in.
Mm-hmm.
You see her eyes flutter open, and she's like, "We better leave.
We are.
She's coming."
Someone we've met before?
She's just like,
Mother
No
Feather.
Okay.
Mother Fluffer!
So I just fluff up my feathers again and go like come around the other
Okay.
side of the cart. So.
So you still have quite a bit of movement left. So what would you like to do? You want to move around? You want to get in the cart? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna have.
We need to find a way to cover the kids though, because they'll see us going past them.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
there's
think-
no tarp in the.
I think at this
tarp
point,
model.
they're gonna notice the kids are gone. So you
But
just try and
mules
get-
don't go fast.
Mhm.
should just try and get back to the inn to get our stuff, and then
Okay.
yeah.
I guess so, because all the guards, if there's 20 guards there.
The 20 guards are back at the bonfire. They're
bonfire.
about
There's only 2 guards. where
until
we are.
until
I know the
things
two
they
there.
realize things are going to going on.
Mhm.
You have basically 2 rounds to
Yeah.
escape before you are
Alright.
going to get overwhelmed
So,
by.
As I
the town
set Tess
guard.
in there, I'm climbing up on the back of the cart and patting
Do we
this
have
one on the
a?
back to go.
Do we have like a?
You don't have a tarp or anything.
No, but do we have a side route that we could go along?
Yeah, you can leave from there and go around, but you're still only 7 feet from the wagon, which means you're not that far from where they're at. They're going to see
And
you
when
go.
you leave,
You're not
draw
you're
their
not going to be a
attention.
mysterious slip off without being noticed kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Mules have a speed of 40 foot, so they're a little faster than we are, but not by much.
But anyway, so you get into the wagon and signal for Callista to go.
Kara and Mordai are Simon.
How far away am I?
Right now, about 40 feet.
Perfect. All right. So
Your turn's coming up.
I basically want to run up and punch the captain of the guard, and then use my second action to use to do.
Just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Knock him
gonna
out?
punch him, and then I'm gonna knock him prone.
Oh,
It's
okay.
my
So you
second-
want to use your
a key point.
Key
It's,
point to use your.
flurry of blows,
Mhm.
and it has a chance to
Knock a bitch out.
succeed a dexterity saving throw. He has to succeed his dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay. So
So I'm gonna run.
so
Well,
you
it's
run
not
up,
run because it's your
So-
normal
so
movement.
I'm
you're
just
moving,
gonna-
you run up and you go into punching. So
Yes.
first attack.
11.
That will be a miss.
Okay.
As you go running up towards him, he hears the through the mud and kind of turns just in time to see you, a fist coming at his head, and he just kind of ducks underneath. And then your bonus action will be your unarmed strike to
17.
try to do a flurry of blows. 17 will hit.
Okay. So he has to. But I don't know what the level. What would the dex?
But the DCB.
What would the
I don't know. It'd
DC
be
for
something
him?
in
It should
your
say-
on your character.
It doesn't. It just says.
And they won't say there. There'll be just a general when you're using these abilities. This is what the DC is. So it'd be wherever those abilities start giving you a description. At the very top of that part section is where it will begin.
8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier.
So 10.
So 10 plus your wisdom mod.
So he has to beat a 14.
All right. So he ducks underneath, but you come up with like this like uppercut. You just like, tsh, and he kind of flies up off of his feet about a foot, and then lands flat on his back.
And
So-
Skippy.
Right down there.
Oh, okay. DC.
So write that number down somewhere, because that'll apply to anything that you have that would
Usually
require a
there's a,
saving throw.
you can think of it as like a spell save
So this
DC.
is your spellcasting ability, be your wisdom. Your spell save DC is what your 14 is going to be.
Even though it's not a spell, you're just using that.
Yeah, and it changes when you level.
Yeah.
Well, when her proficiency or wisdom
Yeah, but the next time
changes.
you level, the proficiency is
Proficiency.
going up.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
All right. So who's next?
So he was simultaneously.
I'm the same. I was the same like
Right.
distance. Okay. Is there a place I could hide from 10 feet away?
He has a
'Cause I
movement speed
only
of
have
30
30.
foot, so he can't do
I
anything.
can't be like-
There's
right
really
now.
no place for you. I mean, you could kind of there's really no place between here and there that you can hide.
Just runs
You
up,
have.
stops.
You don't have any range.
And mind you, you don't have
Yeah, I don't have any.
don't
range.
have any abilities that would allow you to hide as a
What
bonus
you
action
could
anyway.
potentially do, not to. is
Well, I
that
guess you could do it as an action.
As a ranger, you are good with animals. You could always try and head to our mules to help get
Our mules
the.
are
40
further
feet
back.
away.
Yeah,
Right,
but you could
they would
head,
be 50
you could head
feet.
towards that
or
direction.
47 feet.
But you could head that direction to intercept him and help
So
with it.
weird.
I'm just-
So I'm heading
But that's if
towards...
you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that's a suggestion.
I'm
As,
not trying to tell you
as
how
a
to live your
ranger.
life.
Yeah.
You need to go.
Basically, I'm heading... You can mosey up towards everyone, but I'm heading towards, like, our...
Towards the cart.
Yeah.
You can dash if you want. Basically, you sacrifice your action and you can move again,
So
which
you can
will allow
move
you to move
60,
60 feet,
But you can't
which would
do
put
anything.
you into the cart if you wanted to be in the cart.
Okay.
You just couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, you can't attack or do anything. of that
Okay,
nature.
can I run, like... So if I'm running towards the cart, I'm gonna, like, run towards the back and, like, jump into the cart.
Yeah, you
like
could
our
do
cart.
that.
Okay, I'll do
Jumps
that.
into their
Alright,
cart.
so you run around and jump into the back of the cart, and you see 2 unconscious figures there.
Weren't these the kids from
Yes.
No Time to Talk? Oh.
It's time to talk. It's just, yes, these are who we're trying to say.
Alright, so if that's Morda and Kara, next it's Callista.
Alright, Callista, what are you doing?
Now I can do it. I'm going to, first, I'm going to take our mules and kind of, not necessarily go back, but go back a little bit, and then kind of try and head off inconspicuously.
You're not going to sneak away.
I
So
can't
just
sneak
throw that
away.
entire idea completely out of
Okay,
your
well
head.
then I'm going to go as far
There's
as
not
I
going to
can.
be any inconspicuous. You are the only car on the road.
I'm going to go
So you know
as
that-
far as I can with the mules towards the end.
So is thaumaturgy a bonus action? Because driving the cart is your action.
Oh, true.
Like getting the mules to go somewhere is an action.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're not
it'd be a
doing
skill
that.
check.
So you're not going to be able to cast a spell unless it's a bonus action, which it is not. So
Okay, then I'm just gonna drive the car.
All right, give me an land vehicle check, which you are not proficient in. So it'd just be your dexterity modifier and a d20 roll.
Man was not meant to travel at these speeds.
21.
All right, so you're like, and kind of pull them, and you pull out around the cart and basically past the cart that's in front of you and begin making your way towards the end. With that check, if you want, you can make them basically dash. So you go, instead of going 40 feet, you'll go 80 feet.
Can I do
Basically, you set them into like a run to run towards the end.
that? I'll do that.
All right, so you're like, and the cart kind of veers off and sprays some mud on some nearby buildings and stuff. You see the cart go rumbling past you as these mules are like, you're like, what the hell's going on? We're not meant to go this fast. But you see the cart go by. You see him jump into the back of it. You see Winsu is in the back. The 2 kids are Liam and Tessa are unconscious, tied up in the back of the cart. Meanwhile,
Zakari's turn.
Zakari is just like, she's not really certain of what's going on. She was hired to basically fight some people, so she's just gonna like charge towards one of the nearest guards, and it's just one of the random guys that's in the crowd. He's like, "What's going on?" And all of a sudden, there's this like huge black woman come running at him with a sword. He's just like, "Wah!" Throws up a shield as she
like
attacks.
the crowd by the gallows. She's
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
there.
So she comes running up and just like he chops into him
Distraction.
Yeah.
If she dies, she. Oh.
for
Just 50 gold.
for 9 points of slashing damage into this guard, and you just see the sash gets split open, the leather armor splits, and his rib cage is kind of exposed, and he just like blood is like all over, and she's just like and turns and looks at the next guard as the guard kind of crumples into the mud.
Okay, Will saves. Fear checks on all those motherfuckers.
The next guy,
Alright.
she's like,
So that's Sakari. She'll be joining us next session. As a cool new character. Alright, Caliste. They did all the things. We've got the kids.
There's still 2 guards that need to be dealt with. No.
Not worried about that. I'm gonna set the pyre on fire with firebolt, and then I'm gonna go after the cart because I want a
Alright.
distraction.
Roll to hit with your firebolt. You're going to be looking to hit an AC of 8.
Well, I rolled a 9.
Alright, so you're like, whoosh, and it just immediately goes up
Yeah,
because
'cause
of
it's
all the
meant to.
oil and
Yep.
stuff that they've poured onto it. So it's just this like big, you know how when you like
Confidence
set off
roar.
of like you're
Gasoline.
yeah, gasoline just goes. So there's this big rolling ball of fire and black smoke that goes up into the sky, and the entire crowd panics because they don't have any fucking idea of what's going on. This woman just come charging out of nowhere. She's now just covered in blood. There's a guard dead on the ground. Fire has erupted in the middle of the courtyard. And they just have no idea what's going on. So people just kind of start like running in every direction.
Sorry, Lou, you're an outlaw.
Bad guys turn.
Everyone here. Oh, we'll go with the bad guys.
Well,
So
it's the last.
the other guard that basically was standing next to the captain kind of takes his spear and he kind of points it. He's got you two standing there. You're there. He's somewhat intimidated by you because he knows you're a noble. He was just listening to the whole conversation. But you just came running up and knocked the shit out of the captain of the guard. So he's like, and it turns to you and he tries to jab the spear into you.
Bring it, bro.
That was a 2. But it was like, just kind of like way past you and just,
this like the Bruce Lee like ninja move, like.
and he just jabs it into the ox. He's like, and the ox is like, and like charges forward, kind of like knocks him off to the side, so the cart goes basically between the two of you and runs off towards the crowd. And the captain of the guard kind of gets up and he draws his sword and he kind of looks to you as like he's got like a bruise welling up on like his chin and everything, and he's like, "Sir, I seem to be suffering from the wound." And you see him actively fake falling back onto the ground, and he just kind of looks up at you.
Somebody get this boy an Emmy.
Well, you could tell from he was doing what he was required of him, whether he wanted to or not.
Right.
Now he has a legit excuse.
To get out of it.
He really did get his ass.
Yeah.
Because you
They were just gonna
Now
him.
then, everybody, give me some perception checks.
We forgot the Tessa.
Please tell me I
No,
will not forget
the lady's
Tessa.
the lady's coming. Remember?
The lady's coming.
Oh crap. Perception.
18.
18.
Sorry, 16.
22. 17.
14.
26.
All right, you all notice it. You saw the eruption of the fire and the panic of the crowd and everything going on. But then it begins to almost snow. You're not really certain. Then you realize that it's not snow, but it's ash and cinders. And you smell something burning, something like more like sulfur and brimstone. And you look and you see coming from down the road, you see this outline of a woman in blazing in fire and smoke as she's just basically moving down the street, and buildings on either side of her begin to catch on fire.
Shit.
Those that have seen Tessa's mother recognize the charred, infuriated corpse that is now making its way through town.
Oh,
You need a GTFO right now.
No, we need to take her
With
baby.
Tessa.
what's that?
They fucked with Tessa.
So, do we give her Tessa? Is she gonna kill us, or we just saved her daughter, right?
Well,
What do we do, guys?
That's all on you. You know
Let's-
Tessa.
We need to get
We
her out of
wake
town.
Tessa
get-
up.
We need to get her out of town, and we
Okay.
can attempt to do. One of you guys can attempt to do that from the back of the cart while I.
so
get
which
us
direction
the
is
fuck
she
out of
coming
there.
from in relation to the inn where we left the stuff?
She's coming from towards the house, so the opposite direction of the inn.
Opposite direction. So if we head to the inn, we're still going away from her.
Yeah, you'd be going literally in the opposite direction of where
Okay.
she's coming from.
So let's head there,
You keep going.
All right.
Pick up
keep
our
going
stuff
for
and
now,
head out, or-
and then we can.
You guys need to
I would-
hustle over to the inn.
I want to try and see if I can, when I can, do a medicine check on Tessa and see if I can get her, awake and see what's going on.
Okay. So
Whatever.
initiatives.
Okay.
Well, there's still guards and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Lou,
17.
Mordai,
20.
Kalsta,
12.
Wentu,
25.
Kara,
23.
Bad Guys,
3,
and Sakura.
4.
Sorry,
Zakiri.
Zakari.
Zakari, yes.
She's a zebra.
Zathra.
Wenson. Sick.
I'm in the
I
back
nearly
of the
named her
car,
Zakara.
right?
I can see it on your tongue.
I'm gonna try
I'm gonna grab some
to
water.
wake up Liam, since I know that Tessa fell back unconscious.
Mhm.
And
All right, so
I'm-
you
I'm
want to
in
do a
the car.
medicine check?
Yeah, so I'll do a medicine check on
All right.
Liam, which is not gonna be much, but I'm
You never know.
gonna.
8. His wounds seem fairly superficial. He's just unconscious. He's not dying out or
Just
bleeding
like a
or
flesh
anything
wound.
like that. But you're just kind of like trying to get him to wake up, but you're not successful at this point. The rest.
After Wensu, it's Kara.
Okay, so just punch that guy. He's pretending like he doesn't want to get up. So I'm going to run in the opposite direction of the fiery lady.
You want to run to the cart? Because
No.
with your speed, you could actually
Yeah,
catch
no.
up to the cart and get into the cart.
You need to go. Don't run in the fire lady. You got
No,
it.
no, no, I was going to go with the fire lady. I could.
But you
How
also-
far away is
Punches
it
the
in?
fire lady.
Well, you move at this. The cart is ahead of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you move at the same speed as the cart. So the cart will get there before you either way.
Okay.
But you could catch up to the cart where it is now, get into the cart, and then move with the cart
Okay.
when it
So,
goes to
I'm
give
gonna-
you that
I'm
extra.
going to do that, but before I do, how far away am I from Zakara?
Zakari is
Zakari.
maybe 40 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to turn back around and yell to her and say, Zakari, let's go!
Oh,
Okay.
I figured we just.
Leave her?
I mean, she's with the
Jeez.
ship.
That's messed up, bro!
So I don't know what's gone on there though.
No, but
we-
there's like 25 guards over there, and I
She's
told
got
her-
this.
I was gonna
She
say she
started
very
that.
obviously can beat the shit out of them.
Kara. It's alright, I had to glance through this alignment too, so it's fine.
No, this was me as a player, just like whatever. Because me as a character doesn't know that we hired her or what's
Oh,
going on with
okay.
that.
She's
Some
just some
crazy
random lady
woman.
with slash guards right now.
Taking advantage of the moment to kill some people.
But anyway, you run over and jump into the cart and yell at
Yes.
at her to get out of here. And
Mordai goes.
Mordai, you are now in the back of the cart.
It's getting kind
Want
of
to
crowded.
swipe at a guard as you go by? You want to just hunker down and hold on and not fall out of the cart? You want to try to wake somebody up? What do you want to do?
Start carts.
You got 6 seconds to figure out what you want to do. That's how much time I ran
Oh,
this.
okay. I'll probably just hang on.
Alright, so you just kind of hold on
I'm
to the
tiny.
side of the cart.
Ooh.
All right. So what I know.
You were not fast enough to go run up and catch to the cart, though.
Yeah. So right. So yeah, I guess at this point I'll just nod to the captain of the guard. I'll keep my sword out just in case, but I'll just run after the cart.
Okay, so you take off and start running.
After that, it is Callista.
I'm gonna keep driving the cart.
Alright, give me a same check as before.
It was Dex.
Just
Yeah.
X, yeah.
Basically, you're just steering. The mules are going to do all the work. You're just trying to guide them.
I think we're gonna crash. 7.
You're trying to like steer them through there, and they're like hooves are pounding along and in the muck and everything, and the cart's kind of rocking back and forth, and you kind of get off the track just a little bit and veer up to one side of the cart, goes up onto like the wooden walkway that goes basically between the various buildings and everything that keeps people up out of the muck, and you knock over some carts, some like crates and stuff that's got some vegetables and stuff in it. This guy's just like, my cabbages! And he's like, and you send some stuff flying. People are like diving off to the side. You only go 40 feet this round, which means technically you could catch up to them at this point. So you basically run up to where they are behind the cart if you're dashing,
Yeah.
because they didn't go anywhere near as far this round as they could have.
Lewis,
I'm sorry.
But you knock some stuff over, but you don't topple the cart over or anything, but you
That's
don't
what
go
matters.
quite as fast as you could.
do you have the ability to handle?
He's got animal handling. He could have a much easier time of handling the
By
cart.
the time they talk
Why do
about
you
that and
not-
figure that out, though, it's,
They'll already be.
they're going
Well, no, I'm
fast.
just
You can be
saying,
like,
like-
anybody else want to drive? I can't
No, I'm
do
just
this.
saying your instinct should be to.
Wait, did we pass the end? Or what are we doing?
here.
You are going to
Yeah.
the end. You are
How
not
far
to the
away
end.
is the end?
You still got 3 blocks to go.
Okay. How many?
So if you would have made it there at the end of next turn, but now you got an extra half of a turn to go before you get there.
You done fucked it up.
I did.
Anyway, who's
Fire
next?
lady's coming.
Next it is my turn. I'm gonna run to catch up with the cart.
Everybody's
You have the
hopping
same
on this
6 movement as he does, so. And you'd be a lot closer to the cart anyway because you didn't.
I didn't go up to the guard. I'm not.
You didn't
much
move
of a-
that 40 feet forward, so. Yeah, you go and you catch up to the cart. He's climbing up on the back of the cart, and you climb up onto the back of the cart. At this point, it goes up kind of on the little sidewalk a little bit. Cabbage goes and like rolls over the top of your head and out into the street. You hear a guy off to the side, "My cabbages!" As you're pummeled by some carrots in the face.
That'd probably kill me, honestly. You see my hit points? Alright.
Meanwhile,
Wait, what happened to your hit points? You had a long rest.
Yeah, but I'm a squishy. So I am muy squishy.
Yeah, but a carrot to the face is only gonna
Next.
do like
Next it
1d4
is
at best.
Zakari's turn.
alright, so Zakari,
Many
seeing you go running over, because you ran to the cart, right?
Yes.
You go running over to the cart and you're like, "Let's go!" She kind of turns and looks at you, and her face is just kind of dripping, and she's got her eyes are all like wide open and everything. And you see that she's just kind of frothing at the mouth, and she kind of turns and looks at you like, and goes running towards the end, but she makes her direction directly through a group of guards as she goes running through there, and you hear her roar, and it's like the strangest sound you've ever heard. You would swear that if any human could sound like a bear, she just did it. And she goes running through this thing, and she just slams this cutlass into one of the guards. He just sees her coming, and he ducks underneath the blade as it swings past, and it cleaves into like one of these posts, and just kind of shatters the post.
oh,
and
she's doing reckless strike.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
would.
assuming she's barbarian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she swings, and he goes to duck at the last second, and she just turns the blade, is just like whoosh, and just like slices across his throat. And you see blood just spray out in like the most anime Japanese style of blood spray you could possibly see, and it's just like, and he drops to the ground, and the other guard is like, takes his shield and just kind of cuddles up on the ground as she steps on him and goes over him towards the cart.
Fucking T-Rex.
Probably broke a couple of his bones.
Right. Becca is.
The guards are freaking the fuck out. They are, yes, they are guards, and they are moderately trained, they are still just 0 level.
And the town is on fire.
Town's on fire. There's a freaking crazy woman running around chopping people up.
Somebody stabbed an ox.
There's an ox that's charging through the crowd.
There's a burning wraith.
Burning wraith moving to the sound. That they panic just like everybody else, and most of them just kind of spread and go everywhere. But 2 of them, trying to show that how brave they are, 2 of them come running towards the cart with their spears.
Oh, honey. Bad idea.
But they don't move fast enough to actually catch up to where the cart is. But they got their spears, and you can see that they are giving chase. Meanwhile, another one kind of turns towards Zakari to go attack her. And will try to stab her with the spear, and it just kind of like, she just kind of bats the spear off to the side as it doesn't even like come close to actually hitting her.
Initiative. Lou.
Sorry, 9.
Mordai.
13.
Kalista.
Also 13.
Wensu.
25.
Kara.
18.
You always gotta show people up, man. Bad guys.
4,
Zakari.
7.
Good, because she's gonna turn on us any second. Wensu.
Paid her.
I'll try again with
Liam.
Liam, another medicine check on Liam. So I'm still trying to get him up. Maybe this time I'll take a feather and start up his nose.
You like your elbow.
Yeah. Something to just, I gotta get this kid awake.
Not the water pouch.
God. Never mind. So,
Less than what you got last time?
yeah, 6. So.
Yeah. You're just not getting through to this kid.
Mm-mm.
Meanwhile,
And I can roll 20s on my initiative, but I can't roll.
How long does it
It's
take
the
to
way it
attune
goes.
to an item?
Like all day.
At
think.
least a short rest.
So I could be using the staff.
You could.
Okay.
You've
I
had
will
enough
cast
time.
Entangle on the 2 guards that are chasing after our cart. They need to make a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants.
Strength saving throw, DC.
14.
One of them manages to, as the various vines and everything that grow up around them, one of them just gets completely wrapped up and is just kind of like struggling against it. The other one, as the vines kind of start to wrap around his leg, he quickly jerks it free and continues running forward.
It does turn a 20-foot square area into difficult terrain, so at least it'll be at
you
half
only
of
move
it.
half movement.
Okay. Then it is Kara's turn.
So, I've just realized now that I'm riding in the wagon, I'm looking around and like this crazy lady's following us, and she's just like cleaved through another couple people. I'm like, she's following us to our pile of gold that we're gonna try and like put in this wagon super quick and then be like, peace out now, bye.
Well,
stick
exactly
on the
what
way
are we
from
going
the
to do? Because we have a couple options. We can
Okay.
either just try running, or we have this crystal, which will take us through a portal to a tropical island that we don't know where, but will get us out of here.
Okay, so I'll say to you guys, because you're in the, are you
But
in
we
the
have
cart yet?
Tessa and there's
Okay.
a fire lady.
And you guys are in the cart. So I'm gonna say like, okay, so the crazy lady back there, I hired her because I knew there would be fighting. Gave her 50 gold. The other guys didn't want to come. So, but I just realized she's following us to where we're gonna try and pack up our gold and get out of town. And should I go and tell her like, hey, thanks, your services aren't needed anymore?
I don't think she's
Like-
really in a talkative mood.
Okay,
So we
so
look back and she's like hacking someone in half.
so what's
Well,
the plan
she's
when we get to
phone.
the inn?
Well, she's going to the inn where her captain is at anyway.
Yeah, but she's gonna follow us behind the inn to be like, well, what's
Or
the
she'll run inside. At that point, you said we're
Do
we're
we
out of
not
here.
need this lady's help though? Look at her.
Well, at this point, the 6 seconds would be
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
After Kara, it is Callista and Mordai simultaneously.
all right.
I'm gonna quickly pass the reins to you.
You're just like,
Jesus, take the wheel!
you don't even know if he can do this, but you're just like, fuck it, I'm not doing it.
I'm out.
All right.
And then, does that count as my action?
I'd say no.
Okay. Can I hop in the back and try doing a medicine check on Tessa? Because I don't know what's happened, like, that Tessa's tried to wake up. Fell back.
Okay, sure.
We should totally kidnap these
Meanwhile,
children
you're
to
going to
Paradise
do
Island.
I'll let you do you have handle animal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alright, just use that then.
it would end up being the same. Anyway,
Dex and is.
yeah. But still would be better than that one.
So do I roll?
Just roll
Yeah.
that and then
You still have
add,
to roll.
add 4.
No, never mind.
6.
So you get some reins kind of thrown at you, and you're like, what is this? And they just kind of fall onto the ground.
You're like, oh, tell me before.
Yeah, don't just throw things at me.
I
Meanwhile,
threw
what
shit
did
at
you
you and
get
jumped in the back.
Meanwhile, what did you get on your check?
A 6.
So you're like, whoosh, and then you're like, as all of a sudden the cart kind of goes rolling forward. He's like,
I'm done.
everybody make dexterity saving throws.
Sorry, kill us all.
Since I'm not
Why are
in
you
the cart,
throwing shit at me?
If you're not in the cart,
Wait,
then
am
it
I in
doesn't.
the-
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are.
go
in
with
the cart.
under.
An actual 20.
I'm pretty sure at this point everyone is in the cart.
Dexterity.
Everyone
so-
is in the cart.
So plus 6.
What was the DC?
So what did you get?
20.
Okay,
13.
okay,
22.
okay,
19.
okay.
4.
Oh.
So, all right, so you, as you're, as the cart kind of starts to roll over, most of you guys are just like very quickly. You're like, oh
Leave that
shit,
cart.
and you kind of jump out.
Of course, the two that just got on it.
Yeah. Is anybody going to try to take the kids with them?
Yes.
Like the cart is like,
I don't know
going
how
off
much I
road.
can
Like,
get.
It is flipping over.
Shit.
I'm gonna
Um,
cover.
How do you figure out how much you?
No, I'm on test, so I'll cover
Your
Tess.
strength times 15 is you carry weight.
You can carry
Okay.
Liam.
I'm gonna get Liam.
All right,
I'll
so
get
you
Tess.
quickly grab Liam as the cart's going over, and you hop outside basically off to the side, so that you're basically not underneath it and kind of tuck and roll. You grab Tessa and kind of do the same thing. Meanwhile, you quickly kind of like you don't do it gracefully, but you do manage to kind of shuffle and get out of the way of the cart, and you're basically prone in the mud, but you don't have the cart flip over on top of you. Lou, on the other hand, has a 500-pound cart flip over on top of him.
He's like, I don't even know how to roll to kill you.
What would that
Is it 5?
say?
Hopefully the donkeys don't, or the mules don't run
It's a
away.
good cart. I'm sorry.
I want quality merchandise.
I'll say it's a
getting one.
I would say probably like, what, 2d8? Because that's the
Yeah.
equivalent of a thunder
I'm
wave.
gonna go the equivalent to falling.
It's 200 pounds. The cart is 200 pounds.
Cart is 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this shit up. Killing me 500 pounds.
It's a quality cart though, bound in iron. So
Yeah, come on. I got the quality goods.
12.
so you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage. So it could have been a lot worse. It could have been twice that. But you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as the cart falls over and basically lands and kind of crushes you a little bit and knocks the wind out of you. And kind of leaves you stunned for a round. It's basically just all of the air is just like knocked out of you.
And he's
And the
stuck
cart-
under
and-
the cart.
Yeah, well, the cart flips over and then kind of drags off of him. So he's just kind of laying there as the oxes are slowly kind of brought to a stop as they're basically now dragging the upside down cart.
It's upside down.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We're done. We're losing all that money.
Would I be able to catch them?
This is your
Catch
fault.
what?
This
The
is
cart?
done.
There's no way.
Well, you can either jump off and not take any damage, or you can try to keep control of the mules.
That's what we're gonna have to do.
It's our cart, man.
Be more beneficial if I tried.
Would it?
Is it your turn?
But I only have 9 hit points.
The next person is going to be,
You had
it's
a
gonna,
long
it's going to be
rest. Why
Lou's
do you
turn.
not have all your hit points back?
Yeah,
Yeah, you should have
rested.
all
Oh.
your hit points.
I need. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not
You
taking
have all
this.
your hit points.
So we rested.
I mean,
But I mean, at this point, I think the cart is down. So there's gonna take way too long to try and do anything.
Yeah,
that's
you'd have to take the
helpful.
time to flip it over and all that kind of that. You're talking
Yeah.
about a couple of rounds
You know,
at
we got time
least.
for that.
There goes all our monies. Oh wait, no, if we
it's still
There's
there.
no money in the cart.
no, but
So who's
we
next?
can't carry the monies.
Lou.
So
All right, Lou.
stunned, can't move. Okay, so I just basically
Basically, you
I'm
just lose a
stuck.
round.
Yeah.
Sakari?
Zakari comes running through, kind of sees the
Zakari,
cart
Zakari.
flipped over, kind of sees you laying on the ground, reaches down and grabs you. What are you wearing for armor?
Scale. Sorry, chain. Chainmail.
She basically grabs you by the kind of like takes a foot, kicks you over onto you, basically from your back onto your stomach, and then grabs the basically right here at your chainmail, which is like it starts dragging you through the mud towards the rest of your friends. And she looks at you, she's like, "This is great. If I'd known it was going to be this much fun, I'd only charge you 25 gold."
Oh man.
How about the guards?
Who's next?
The
Guards are next. The one guard that was giving chase, basically comes running up behind. He still
Got
wouldn't
difficult
catch
terrain
up.
too.
Yeah, he's got the difficult terrain and everything. He's not going to catch up. So
Initiative.
at this point, we won't really need to worry about initiative because they won't be able to catch up to you. So we'll just kind of go around. What are you doing?
Just,
There's no more cart to worry about.
Just carrying Liam. How far away are we from the inn still?
About 80 feet.
And how far can I carry him?
As far as you
Can she
want to
dash
carry
with
him
him?
into, yeah, technically, because you're strong enough that he's
So I will.
doesn't encumber you.
I will dash with him towards the back of the inn.
Okay.
Go set him down.
All right. So you're about 80 feet from the inn, so you can get to the inn, and then the next round you can get around to behind the inn, because you basically have to go around.
Yeah.
I'm running, same thing, but it's, I only get 60 feet with my dash, so it'll take
Well,
me-
technically, you could, if you're
Yeah, but you're
doing
having
combat
action
rounds,
dash
you
again.
get your bonus dash and then your action to dash, so you can move 90 feet around.
So I'd be able to get to the back of the inn then?
Yeah, just around to the back corner.
Alright.
You still have like 30 or so feet to go before you're to where the
Okay.
The
So I
stash.
instantly pass. Run
yeah.
past everybody.
Like this.
Can I dash? With
Uh,
Testa?
what is your strength?
It's a 9.
No, you wouldn't be able to dash and carry her.
Okay. But I can still move my full.
Yeah, you can still move 30 feet.
Okay, then I'll do that. I'm just gonna go as far as I can, carrying
I'm
Tess.
stronger.
Or
Okay.
she's a
think
bit.
I am.
He's a
Are
bit
you stronger?
I was gonna say, do you want to pass her to me and be like,
But can you dash with Tess?
How strong are you?
I don't,
13?
Yeah, you could dash with her.
So yeah.
I don't trust throwing things at you anymore.
You don't
Pass.
throw, just pass.
You have to understand. Stop throwing.
Throw. Child.
This wouldn't have. This probably would not have.
Catch this
happened.
baby!
You just
Hand Tessa over to,
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to hand Tessa to you. Say here,
and then
run with
now
this,
you can dash.
and then I'm gonna
Dash.
dash my full. 16 now.
Okay.
And then basically right next to her, because mine's 60, correct?
Yeah. So you guys are several feet behind her. You don't see him anymore because he ran around to the back side of the building. Lou, you're being drug along, but you finally get your wind back and you can basically try to get to your feet and
yeah.
run your own self if you want, or you can be carried by this burly woman who has a faster movement speed than you do.
But will it cause him any harm?
He's got dignity. And he'd
Dignity,
like to hold over.
it will.
No. Dignity will kill you. I'm gonna treat it like I'm still getting my bearings and I'm not quite sure what's going on, so I can.
Face full of dirt.
Well, it's
Oh
not.
no, it's not his face. It just is like from like his waist down. It's just being like
Yeah.
dragged through the mud.
We're just like,
Hopefully there's no large
I'm just gonna
rocks.
adjust my collar a bit.
Mud down the back of his pants.
The front of your pants is just filling with dirt and mud. It's just-
It's not that low.
But she's basically running along next to you. It's like, so what's the plan? How are we getting out of here?
I don't actually know. The cart was our plan. We're trying to get.
That's a terrible plan.
I know.
What are you doing?
I told you what our other plan could be.
I'm gonna
Get
tell
myself
me engaged.
up out of the
Yeah.
He
He
said
was
it
on
in
the cart.
I
He
said it in the car.
mud.
Yep.
He-
I said it in the back of the car
Crazy
to
barbarian
everyone.
chicken the rest
Yeah.
of the party.
Alright, so you're basically running along next to these guys.
Hello.
Being the three of you are much slower than the rest of the group.
But we have the baby.
Child,
But you
yes.
guys catch
Don't
up
throw
to these two. And then you guys you get around to you two get around to and the barbarian get around to the back side of the building where the stash is. She
That
just
makes
kind
sense,
of
too.
dumps Lou onto the ground, kind of without any thought. She doesn't even like seem to acknowledge that you're an actual person. She just kind of dumps you on the ground like a
You
bag
guys
of
dropped
potatoes. And he's like, just kind of turns with her sword, and she's basically watching in the direction that you guys came from. As you see the other three kind of come around to the back side of the inn.
As she dumps Lou off, I'm gonna kneel down and be like, "You have crystal
Yeah.
ready to go?"
If we're gonna do that, I pull out the crystal. It's 18 inches long and 4 inches in diameter.
Now the barbarian's impressed with you.
Delicious magic you.
So it's a green crystal with 8 swirling gold runes inside. 8 rings of swirling runes. So I place it upright, and I start saying, Felras et Maruk Cathar. And I say it 3 times, and a 10-foot circular portal starts opening
So
up.
we're taking her with
With
us?
the last syllable, you see this like dot kind of open up, and then like the swirl of green light, and then it opens up, and then through it you see a beautiful like red sandy beach with beautiful swaying palm trees, a bright, brilliant, warm blue sky, and then there's like this villa that sits up on the hill, just like maybe a few dozen feet beyond the entrance to this portal.
Okay, so I have Liam still, right?
Yeah, you have Liam.
Can
I
you go
guess-
in and out of the portal?
Yeah, it stays open until the crystal is moved, or I say the command words again.
Okay, so I'm gonna basically go through the portal and put Liam on the ground and come
Okay.
back real quick.
Okay.
Fine, me too.
What are you doing?
I'll grab as much as I can carry and push it through or taking it through the portal.
Alright, so you're just grabbing loot and kind of trying to drag it / throw it through the portal.
Mm.
I'm gonna run up and whilst running up, grab things and continue to chunk them
Basically,
through. Yes.
Same thing.
helping him out.
We're hurrying.
You got Tessa. What
I
are you
got
doing?
Tessa. I'm gonna run into the portal and probably
All right.
keep watch of the two.
You step through the portal, and this is something that you notice. As you step through the portal, there's just like this warm tropical breeze that just kind of blows over you. You can hear the very gentle lapping of waves as you look at this beautiful aqua turquoise lagoon out that kind of spreads out before you. Looking around, you see what looks to be a ring of a cliff face of some sort that goes almost all the way around this lagoon with this split off to the far side. You quickly realize that you're probably inside the caldera of a volcano somewhere.
Sick.
Long since dormant, but it's just this big, massive opening, and there's just this. You smell the sweet fragrant flowers of the tropics, little bits of the sea spray, the sand, some sweet fruits that seem to be basically like out in the jungle somewhere. The call of exotic birds and other creatures out in the dense emerald green jungle around you. And you see this villa that sits up kind of on the hill up off the beach a little ways.
Okay. So I'm just gonna sit with the kids and make sure that they're okay.
Okay. Bags keep getting tossed in where you're at.
Move
children.
away from the kids.
I'm going to turn to Zakari and say, I don't know if you want to come with us or if you want to stay with the captain, but this is our exit.
She's like, I don't know. Hold on a second. And she just goes running in through the back door.
All right,
As she goes running in the back door, you see the innkeeper with a kind of like a burlap sack filled with some stuff kind of over his shoulder. He's got this very nice looking bastard sword that's in a sheath and everything. It's got the royal crest on the hilt of it and everything, and a kind of a dinged up shield that also has the royal crest on it. Kind of flung over his shoulder, followed closely behind by his daughter, who sees you guys like sitting there throwing things through this portal, and he's like, "Good day. Anybody want to buy an inn cheap?"
Well, we're leaving. I think it's the continent.
Want a quick out?
I mean,
And kind of you hear some screaming, and you see some flames erupt off into the background. He's like, kind of looks through the portal. He's like, "Looks nice." And the two of them kind of dash through the portal and into the tropical setting beyond.
I'm gonna help move stuff through, I guess.
Well, with the three of you moving this stuff through for fairly quick, it goes fairly quickly. And
Okay, then hang on. I know what I want to do.
all right, then what are you doing?
I want to go back into the inn because we're right by the back door, and I want to scoop up as much food as I can, and then I'm gonna go back to the portal.
All right, as you go in through the back door to start scooping up food, you see the large Tauros captain is in the kitchen. He's kind of like lifting pots up, and he's got like a loaf of bread kind of tucked under his arm and everything. He's like, "They said I could have it. I'm not stealing."
Me neither. And I'm just starting
Grabs a couple of bottles of wine and just like kind of tips his hat toward you. Walks back into the other room.
You should probably tell it it's on fire soon.
I
We're
think he
going to be
knows.
on fire soon.
Yeah, he knows.
At this point, Zakari comes running out from the other room, and she's got like a sea bag kind of satchel over her shoulder. He's like, "Let's go." She's got the cutlass. She's like, "Captain!" Kind of throws, and you hear a and she like goes and just kind of steps through the portal and just kind of invites herself along.
The more the merrier. I mean, we've got 2 orphans, we've got a chick and a dude, now we got a crazy barbarian.
it's
Why
like her
not?
own town.
They're gonna go burn another town. I'm gonna go with them.
Oh, we got an innkeep.
We basically brought a Hearthstone.
That's a start.
All right, so back to you.
So
All of the loot is through at this point.
I'll just go through and
Or stay where you're at, or
I mean,
Did you come back?
I came back to help,
Okay.
so I'm gonna go through the portal.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's gonna
you
be 3 of us.
so you go move through the portal and kind of get everybody start kind of gathering stuff up and getting bearings of where you're at and everything. Winsu,
Double check, look around real quick, make sure that all the stuff is through. Lou's still outside, right?
I'm gonna be the last one.
Yeah.
Is
through.
Tess awake yet?
No.
Can I try and wake her up?
when we get to you.
Yeah.
So what is Winsu doing?
Winsu's nodding to Lou to make sure that it's good to go through, and then I'm gonna go through. So.
All right, so you go through the portal.
I'm gonna go through.
You no hesitation, just on through the portal.
Yeah, all the stuff's in there. I'm just gonna.
Last time
I'm
she went through a
freaking
portal, it
out.
turned out fine.
I'm
We're
freaking
back
out
to
at this
us.
point, so I'm just gonna go.
Okay.
He's still on the other side of the portal, so I guess what are you doing with
So
the
you
kids
just what do
there?
you just kind of sitting over there
Holding the
waiting?
Children.
Organizing.
Don't come near me or my sons ever again.
The beams. Go ahead and skip me and go to her
Alright.
first, and then.
All right, Calistay, what are you doing?
I want to see if I can get the kid to wake up one last time. Tessa.
All right.
Are you feeling?
Yeah, it's Tessa too.
17?
Yeah. So you're like, come on, wake up, and she kind of opens her eyes.
Like, say goodbye to your mother.
She's like, I already did. She's furious.
Alright, Lou!
Is she okay coming with us? Tessa, you okay coming with us?
She's like, I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's not your fault.
Right.
I'm gonna step through, and then can I grab the crystal from here and pull it through and close the portal? Would we still have the crystal, or how does that work?
I don't know.
Who's
Alright,
got a
I'll do.
thunderstone?
So where is the crystal in comparison to the portal then?
About 3 feet.
So portal here, crystal on the other side of us.
Basically, the crystal is right here with you.
Uh-huh.
3 feet from the crystal is the portal.
Okay. So I'm going to just grab the crystal real quick and jump through the portal.
All right, so you heft up the crystal. Dexterity save.
Yeah.
Please don't roll a 1.
Well, she said she was sorry.
19.
All right, so you grab it up and go leaping through the portal, and it closes up just barely right behind you. If you'd failed that, then you would have been in pieces.
Yeah.
Just snapped in half.
All over the universe. Alright, well, that was interesting.
I have sand in my robes.
Yeah, I think all of us we need to figure out where we go from here.
And that's where we will end for tonight.
I had a feeling.
You want your XPs?
I will say that this is not how I was expecting tonight to go.
It could have gone a couple of different ways, but this is, you guys kind of,
Freaking hilarious.
that's just kind of the way you guys wound up going.
Yeah.
Decimating a town.
No one died.
Well, I mean,
Town.
half the town.
But our
Yeah.
adventuring group is like up a few people, so
We saved the main
Well, we don't know
characters.
how many people, like if Zakari's actually going to be with us. Like
She
DMT
might
seems to
go.
be a little.
she could chop us all in half and take our money.
What are we
saying.
doing with
Does it
the...
have a
Ready to pair.
What's that? Oh, she doesn't have a weapon. She'll just punch us all to death. Yeah, because she's huge.
Or just honestly, she's teeth.
She was
or just be
foaming.
like
She doesn't need any weapons.
headbutt us to
This
death?
is yours.